All right. It looks like we're live. It looks like we're live. Wait for the ads to play. If they do for anybody, give it a second. Perfect. And I even muted the stream this time. Didn't boomer it up. But what is going on, everyone? I wanted to go live because I just didn't have anything to talk about, didn't have anything to make a video on today. But no, you guys know I usually release a video right at this time, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. But today I felt like there's just too much to talk about to put it all in a video. So let's just go live and talk about it. And I know a bunch of people are live, but I don't really care. So, but if you could smash a like button, share the stream out there, let everybody know what we're going to be talking about today, I would appreciate it. And we're going to have a couple guests pop on at different times. We probably got about 20 minutes or so. We've got some links out, but until then, it's just me, and we're going to be talking. I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what we thought. And I've been talking about it for weeks now, how I felt like these leaks were 100% true. There was never really a doubt in my mind that this was true. And I think I'm at a different stage of grief with Disney Star Wars than a lot of other people. You have all these other people who are like, they're like in shock that this is actually happening. This has been happening since Force Awakens. I was out at Force Awakens. I could see what they were doing. And I'm at the point now where I'm just sitting at everything and watching. And it's, I don't want to say funny because people are getting so hurt and so angry, but we knew about these leaks for forever. Like we knew, and people were in denial that it was true. And I don't know why. I've never seen a leak that was as detailed as the ones on Reddit. For anything, even Game of Thrones season 8, which was pretty comprehensive, it wasn't this detailed. This was literally scene by scene, had everything in it in those Reddit leaks, and it's all true. And we're gonna be going over somebody who was at the premiere. Basically, they laid out exactly what they thought happened. We're gonna look at some reviews because of course, the blue check marks. The blue check marks are out in force, and they are fighting to maintain their spot at these Disney premieres. So their feedback is funny. We've also got some people rocking the boat a little bit. King Shill, Scott Mendelson, John Campia, people like that. I just saw, actually. I actually really want to show this one. We'll go ahead and show this now. We'll be talking about it a lot, but we'll go ahead and show it now. But for those of you just getting here, we are talking about the leaks. And honestly, I got to tell you.
It's true. All of it.
Yeah, they are all true. And man, it's just so funny. But let me say hi to chat a little bit. Let me say hi to all my people in chat. Man, that is like really delayed. I see a lot more people in chat than chats that I see. But I got Apollo Patron here who's talking about Battlefront 2. Yeah, Battlefront 2, the Sith Troopers look ridiculous. Lucasfilm put out a film so bad they're going to have to resurrect Legends at this point. Hell yeah, they are. I don't think so. We'll get into what exactly I think they're going to do. But that is a great time to point it out that if you are someone who is flabbergasted by these leaks, if you're someone that it doesn't make sense to you that they could do something like this, if you're someone who's like begging, they want good Star Wars so bad, check out the expanded universe. All of these books out here, so many video games, so many great stories that are actually great Star Wars that you guys need to check out. So that's going to be my recommendation. We'll talk more about that as we go on as well. But David Prevost is in the chat. What's up, my man? A Hades, afternoon laughter on the mess that is Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, Teresa Martin's here. Hey, Teresa. Hashtag Solo lost money. That is correct, of course. Yeah, Mason W. Exactly. These leaks were out in like August, and then we got updates as the reshoots were going on. As the reshoots that Doomcock kept talking about, and Doomcock should feel vindicated as hell right now. Doomcock should feel awesome. I mean, sure, he feels shitty. I read something he said that he wishes he wasn't right. But at the end of the day, all these people that were coming after him, telling us that he was lying, all this stuff, they're BTFO'd. Absolutely, because it's all real. And guys, if you're watching, if you haven't already, if you're enjoying the stream, if you know you will enjoy the stream, smash that like button, share the stream out there, let everyone know what's going on. We will have a couple people joining us in a little bit. It'll be awesome. Not rocking the tank top, apparently, on the mat with Dan Mateos, who, guys, if you like wrestling, if you like WWE, check out On the Mat with Dan Mateos. Just started a new channel. So check him out. But Pixel Ryan happening? I hope not. We ain't going to get no pixels. I feel smooth. I'm looking at the playthrough right now. I feel smooth right now. Good day, everyone. Good day. Echo Base, smash that like button, folks. Absolutely. Thank you, Echo Base. Good to see you guys here. I blame bad robot. Bad reboot? Is that what you typed, Evan? Bad reboot? Yeah, because that's basically what it is. We got James Universe in here. What's going on, man? James puts out some great stuff. Every trailer that drops, James Universe is on top of it. Always on top of it. Disney Star Wars is just fan fiction at this point. That is true. That is true. Now, let me get the first thing that I want to show you guys is something that just came out. I saw, who was it? Robot Head. Robot Head shared it out. And this is Dave Schilling. Ironic, but he's a verified dude, you know, blue check mark, 20,000 followers. And he says some really interesting stuff. And this is what I mean by critics are already at odds. You have most people towing the Disney line, you know, but look at this. Having seen Rise of Skywalker, I can safely say this last Star Wars trilogy is the most schizophrenic, unsatisfying major trilogy of all time. Of all time. And this comes from someone who liked the first two movies. Well, I don't know what that says about him, but Rise of Skywalker strains so hard to invent new characters, situations, and threats that pretty much nothing gets paid off from the first two movies except for the most obvious plot elements. I left the theater feeling completely numb to 70% of what happened. God, it's so bad. J.J. Abrams said yes to an impossible task. He did the best he could, I think. Next time, maybe Lucasfilm should have a plan. That might have prevented this movie from feeling like a kid making up a ridiculous story with a chest full of Star Wars toys. Ooh, man. Man. See, this is a dude who doesn't care, who does not give two shits about what Disney's reading. The people that you see that are writing things like, what a satisfying conclusion, and things like that are these people that are trying to. Now, that's not to say there will be people that like this movie. Guaranteed, there will be people that like this movie, just like there are actually people out there that like The Last Jedi. You know, they do exist. That's not, you know, no one's lying to you, or not. Some people aren't lying to you. A lot of the blue check marks may be. But if someone says that they are a fan of Last Jedi because of this, and this, then, you know, that's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I could not. It's not Star Wars to me. There's no way in hell that is Star Wars to me. And Lily asks, what's your opinion on the fandom being even more divided? This movie isn't even out. Agreed. Little did we think that the Star Wars fandom could be more divided. You have Fandom Menace, and then you have people that love Disney Star Wars. But now the people that love Disney Star Wars, like this person here, now they're going to split. Because you have Last Jedi defenders and you have people that basically are going to like this movie because it shits on The Last Jedi. And those people are going to start being at war. So I agree with you, Lily. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, get back to his rant because I don't even think he's done yet. Let's see. There were moments of true emotion that worked, but it was surrounded by such absurdity that I couldn't stay in the moment longer than 10 minutes. The most pivotal moment of the whole series had some people in my theater laughing. Wow. This is not the worst Star Wars movie. Attack of the Clones still gets that booby prize, but make no mistake, this is not a good movie. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that I think that Attack of the Clones is looking better and better the more I hear real people reviewing this. And I think it says a lot. I don't know if anybody missed it or not. I wish I would have screenshot or taken some archives of what I saw before, but IMDb, the IMDb rating just vanished. Just vanished. Don't know what happened to it. It was down to like 6.5 at one point, and all of a sudden it just vanished. Makes you think, huh? Really makes you think. Raging Rhino, they can't blame the fans for this one. That had this planned all along. That's right. Attack of the Clones is good. Yeah. Well, I will say it's probably my least favorite Star Wars movie. But yeah, it's way better than some of the stuff we've got. That's for sure. That's for sure. Guys, there's 75 people in here. We have 40 likes. Smash that like button. Share this stream out there. Let everybody know where you're at. And while we have so many people in here, let me thank my patrons real quick. We're 10 minutes into the stream. Let me thank my patrons real quick, my patrons helped me get this stuff done. I have a vlog to upload while I was driving to work today. Just my initial thoughts about all this leak stuff. I'm going to upload that to Patreon as soon as we're done with the stream here. But thank you so much to all my patrons. Teresa Martin, Mexican Iron Man, Lost Jedi 22, Mary Mayhem, What an Ass, What a Bitch, What a Cuck, George Big Dick Lucas, Rosetta Allen, Bionic Belly Button, RC from the NYC, Huge Ass, Seth Saunders, Kyle Hopkins, Alex McCarthy, Trev Fishbeam, and Geeky Candy. Thank you guys so much. You are awesome. And so is everyone in chat who smashed that like button. So let's get into it. Now, if you guys have watched my channel at all or watched a lot of other channels, we've gone over the leaks. We went over basically the entire plot of the movie. And that's exactly what this ended up being. And we saw pictures surfacing. We can't show the pictures here. If you want to look, you definitely can go look on Twitter or on Reddit leaks or Star Wars leaks, the Reddit. They have a lot of the stuff there. What I'm specifically going to be going over is confirmation from someone who was actually there. A guy named Call Me Ben Swallow on Twitter started posting all of this stuff. That's basically a breakdown of the leaks that are true. So I'll pull that open and we'll talk about it. It's not in a very good order. That's my issue with this whole thing. That is my issue with this whole thing. But let's start from the beginning. I want to find the opening crawl because I know that leaked. And the opening crawl from the very beginning is something that's like, it seems so silly. It seems like the whole thing seems like a fan wrote it. That's the problem. This all seems like a fan wrote it and a bad fan. So this is the Rise of Skywalker opening crawl. Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. The dead speak. The galaxy has heard a mysterious broadcast. A threat of revenge in the sinister voice of late Emperor Palpatine. Oh my God. General Leia Organa dispatches secret agents to gather intelligence, while Rey, the last hope of the Jedi, trains for battle against the diabolical First Order. Meanwhile, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren rages in search of the Phantom Emperor, determined to destroy any threat to his power. Ooh. Wow. Really powerful stuff. The first comment, Disney, the fan base will decide your fate. Leakers, I am the fan base. Oh, awesome. Yeah. And when this came out, as soon as I saw this, I'm like, that explains the leaks. That explains what the leaks say. And we'll go through those in a second here. I don't want to share the screen as I'm scrolling through Reddit because I don't want to show any of the pictures. Terrible but obvious news. Yeah. And that's why I said the people that are acting all surprised about all this, you weren't paying attention for the past couple months. That's all I got to say. Because those leaks were so damn specific. So accurate. You bet Rey inflicted the Dementor's kiss on Ben Solo. That is true. That's true for any Reylo fans out there. Just saying, you're going to be happy if you're into Reylo. And it's hard to even talk about, guys. It's hard to even talk about. 69 people watching. I guess that's an appropriate moment to talk about Reylo. They share a kiss. I'm just going to spoil the ending right now for you guys. I know everyone in here is really excited to go watch Rise of Skywalker. You're really big fans. But in the ending, they face Palpatine. Ben Solo has been redeemed because Rey stabs him through the chest, then heals him, and then he has a Force vision of Han Solo. And it, convinces him to throw the dark side away and take up the banner of the light side and get rid of the moniker of Kylo Ren, and be called Ben Solo again. It's so sweet. Makes so much sense. Stupid New Republic with no ships. Yes. Anyway, so he goes to face the Emperor with Rey, and they're about to confront him. He's trying to turn Rey to the dark side to become Empress Palpatine, literally Empress Palpatine, because Rey's Palpatine's granddaughter. If you guys didn't catch that one already, if you guys didn't catch it already, Disney should sell Lucasfilm the Star Wars theory, right, Ryan? Disney should sell Lucasfilm to anybody. Anybody could do better than what they have done. They should sell it to the fans, who they should sell it to. Real fans, not fake fans like J.J. Abrams. Like, you always hear every person that gets hired for Star Wars, they're like, oh yeah, I was a big fan of Star Wars. Come on. But they can't name anything. The deepest they get into Star Wars is talking about something from like the Clone Wars. Spoiler alert. Yes, spoiler. This is a spoiler stream. I feel like I put that in the first line in the description of the video. And the title of the video is basically the leaks. So, but anyway, they go to face the Emperor, and Ben gets pushed aside, swatted aside, and thrown in the abyss, like immediately. And Rey is left on her own to face the Emperor, but she's not on her own. She has been struggling with training. She's actually been struggling, guys. She's been struggling with something. They had to add it in there. They're listening to the Phantom Menace, but she had to struggle. She had to struggle so hard to hear the voices of Jedi long gone. And so then in that moment that she needs someone, she hears Luke and Leia and Mace Windu and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano, and all the Jedi of the past are inside her. They dwell with, well, that sounded bad. That sounded a little bad. And Anakin, yes, and Anakin's voice. And she has the strength to face Palpatine, deflect the lightning back at him, and he explodes. But when he explodes, the entire thing around him comes crumbling down, and it kills Rey. Rey dies. Rey dies in this movie. How about that? She's not a Mary Sue. Look, she died, right? She's not a Mary Sue anymore, right, guys? And Ben Solo comes crawling out of the abyss and sees Rey, the woman that he loves, I guess, laying on the ground, who just stabbed him hours ago. And he rushes over to her and sees her dead, and he's emotional. And then he decides, wait, I maybe I can help her. And he uses some force ability that we have no idea how he uses it. He brings her back to life, and in turn he dies. He basically sacrifices himself to bring her back to life. We can't explain this at all. I don't understand. No one's been able to explain it from the leaks, how it exactly works. We've never seen anything like this before in Star Wars, but that doesn't matter, right, J.J. Abrams? Because that's what it's all about. It's creating new force powers. That's what people want out of a sequel trilogy, new force powers. So he does that. Rey comes back to life, opens her eyes and says, Ben. And as he's dying, they kiss. We finally, I know you guys have been waiting, we finally got Reylo. That's what everybody wanted, right? We finally got it. And he dies. What do you guys think about that? Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? Isn't that what everyone wanted? R.I.P. Ahsoka, yeah. my, my God. Yes. That is how everyone should feel about that. Oh, man. Look at that. On the mat with Dan Mateos. Just watched a 2+ minute video for Masterclass so we could smash the like button. Well, thank you, Dan Mateos. Oh, man. That's so rough. That's so rough. And the thing is, here's the thing. We heard in the leaks that they had reshot different endings, and one of them was a Reylo thing like this. I'm telling you guys, they are listening, but unfortunately, they're so fucking incompetent that it doesn't matter. The reason that Rey dies at the end of this movie, in the original version, Palpatine basically just got curb stomped. Oh, I see someone else who might want to rage against the machine. Who might want to rage against the machine. Now, he might be angrier than me. I'm like kind of fake angry because I saw all this coming. I've known these leaks for real. I knew it was going to happen. And my grieving process is a lot further along. As soon as 2014, they got rid of the EU, I started my grieving process. And now I'm at the point where I can just kind of laugh at how ridiculous it is. But, oh, he disappeared on me. I was about to bring him in. I had this sick intro for him, and he disappeared. But that's all right. I'll bring him back as soon as he gets here. What I'm saying is they are listening to us. The reason that Rey is struggling, she struggles with the dark side, the temptation of the dark side, and with her anger throughout this movie. She struggles not being able to hear the voices of these Jedi. They make her have this struggle so that we can be like, oh, well, maybe she's not a Mary Sue. She is struggling. But it's too late for that. You can't do that at the end. You can't do that at the end. And even with that being the case, she fights Kylo. She has a lightsaber duel like 4 times with him and wins like every single time. So the original ending, Rey curb stomps Palpatine, just destroys him. And people were like, we can't do this. Like, people will hate this. They're already saying she's a Mary Sue. You can't have her do that. So what do? They have her die. They literally have her die only to be returned and give the last Skywalker, Ben Solo, a little something to actually do to bring her back to life. And we have someone
Yo,
here.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, you hear me? Hello? I think you can't hear me. I think you can't hear me, but I can hear you, Sith. And he's gone again. That's all right. He'll be back soon. Do you think this movie could reunite the fandom if the majority of people on both sides hate this movie? Yeah, well, the fandom's never going to be united, right? That's part of fandom, right? People argue. You have people who like these characters, people who hate these characters, people who like this movie, people who don't like this movie. That's how it is. That's how fandom is. But I do think that it will unite people against the leadership at Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy. That's what I think it's going to do. Because whether you hated The Last Jedi or whether you love The Jedi or The Last Jedi and now you hate Rise of Skywalker, you have to kind of admit that Kathleen Kennedy, the reason all of this is happening because there was no plan. The oversight was not there. I just don't see how Kathleen Kennedy survives any longer than, the next couple months. Basically, the fallout from the Rise of Skywalker. I don't know. I just don't see it. Maybe they'll just let her. Maybe they'll just let the fallout kind of happen. Let her run out her contract, so they don't have to fire. So they don't have to fire a woman. It's sad to say, but in today's world, I mean, that's kind of. I can understand where they're coming from. This is not a protein shake. It's water. Just water. That's all. Sid says audio is a little messed up, so no worries, man. No worries. Let's get into what someone else's feedback is here. Oh, here's Sith. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
All right, I can hear you.
All right. I don't know why my freaking the audio on my computer has been acting funny, but it's all right. Let me see if I can get my camera working.
Okay.
Can you see me?
I see you.
Hey.
There's Sith, guys. Say hi to Sith
Hi.
Kryptonian.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? How you doing? Give me a hug. We're all going to need hugs after 9. We're all going to need hugs. Come here.
I don't
Everybody
need
give
no
me a
hug. I'm sitting here laughing. But you, I
Bro.
saw you. You are pissed. What's up?
I blew a gasket yesterday, bro.
Why?
Because I got part of me, I guess, was in, if you could describe it as some sort of denial that, these leaks have any truth. Like, I was hoping like it was a studio just trying to like misdirect us or something,
You really thought that Disney was playing 4D underwater 3-dimensional backgammon, huh? I guess 4-dimensional.
In the prequel Star Wars fan in me who loves Anakin Skywalker and didn't want to see his legacy tarnished, and given to Rey for no reason. Are we allowed to talk spoilers here?
Yeah, complete spoilers. Go.
Okay, yeah. So for Rey to just be the one she just basically stole his legacy. She stole it. And Obi-Wan sacrifice, Qui-Gon Jinn sacrifice, Luke Skywalker redeeming Vader. That's all pointless now. It's all pointless. It's completely fucking pointless. Everything George Lucas said, the story of Star Wars is the rise, fall, and redemption of Anakin Skywalker. And his entire arc is pointless now. Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas.
That's the biggest problem. This isn't the Skywalker saga anymore. This is the fucking Palpatine saga. At the end of the day, the only thing that a Skywalker did that truly mattered was Ben Solo ended up giving his life for the person who had just killed Palpatine.
Oh, yeah.
Who was also a Palpatine.
Yeah, the entire Skywalker bloodline gets to die so that Palpatines may live.
Exactly. And what a stupid thing to do. Why? There was no need. There was no need to do this. Why do you need to end the Skywalker saga? Why the rush to end the Skywalker saga?
I never understood that. I made multiple videos on that. I never understood that. And I made one video called Ending the Skywalkers is a Mistake. And I titled it that way on purpose because I knew there's no way you could end the Skywalker saga without killing off the bloodline. There's no way, because people would be like, no matter what new character, what new story you want to tell, people are still going to wonder, what is the descendant of Luke doing? I knew they were going to kill off the bloodline. So not only that, the bloodline of the chosen one only gets to the grandkid and then it dies. It's gone. And by the way, the person who stole the entire legacy of the Skywalkers and who led to the death of the final Skywalker, she gets to keep the name. She's the Skywalker now, guys.
That's true. For those of you that don't know, if you didn't read the leaks, if you didn't know beforehand, yes, Rey at the end. So she is asked near the beginning of this film. There's a little scene in a marketplace, and someone asks her what her name is. She says Rey. Like, well, what's your family name? She's like, I don't have one. Well, at the end of this movie, after Luke and Leia and Ben Solo have died, and she is on Tatooine for some reason, burying Luke and Leia's lightsabers in the ground or in the dirt, just for some Jawa to come up and put it at a scrap heap someday.
I'm sorry, is she a fucking squirrel now? And their lightsabers are nuts? Why are we burying the lightsabers?
I don't know. And so she's then sitting there, and someone randomly comes up to her like, I haven't seen anybody here in a long time. What's your name, girl? And she's like, my name's Rey Skywalker. And then turns and looks at the twin sons with BB-8 by her side as she holds a yellow-bladed lightsaber that she's constructed for herself.
That's about the only thing that she constructs for herself. Everything else is given to her.
Yep. And Craig is right. There are no less than 3 MacGuffins in this movie. The whole movie, guys. God, let me fucking break this down a little bit for you. So the first part of this movie, they are looking for Palpatine. I read this crawl to you guys. I'll show it again. You saw the crawl, right, Sith?
Yeah.
The opening crawl. So The dead speak. The galaxies heard the mysterious broadcast, a threat of revenge in the sinister voice of the late Emperor Palpatine. I'm not sure why he would do. I guess maybe that's all part of the plan.
Hey, did you know, guys? They speak now. They speak now. The dead speak now, guys. That's speak true. Now.
And they do speak now. And so I guess maybe this is all in an effort to draw Kylo and Rey to him. Maybe that's why he just announces his presence to the galaxy, or because he's realized that the First Order and the Resistance and the New Republic or whatever the fuck's going on are so incompetent that it doesn't matter anyway. He's just like, hey, bitches, I'm alive. And so Kylo Ren is trying to find him. They're trying to find something called a Wayfinder, which looks like a Sith holocron, which just hooks directly up to a ship somehow. Again, you have
a little on the nose for a name of a MacGuffin used to find a place, right?
Yeah, just to find the way to someplace. Yes. Yeah. J.J. Abrams in all his glory. In all his glory. And so they need to find the Wayfinder. And he goes and he finds Darth Vader's Wayfinder, which leads him to the planet. Again, someone who didn't necessarily want to be found happens to have left a map laying around to be found. So I don't know where JJ got that one from. I don't know at all. It's tough to tell. But so he gets this Wayfinder, goes there, confronts Palpatine, and Palpatine's basically like, if you guys have seen the pictures, I wish I could show you guys the pictures. They're so ridiculous. They are so ridiculous. He looks like a meth addict. He looks stupid. They're basically saying that he is dead, but he's just being held together by the dark side of the Force. They don't really explain why he's alive.
Yeah, they don't explain any. Oh, God. The one thing you had to do is explain how Palpatine's back, do it in a way that makes sense, and do it in a way and resolve everything in a way that doesn't tarnish Anakin Skywalker's legacy. No care at all to do that. And how about the Knights of Ren? Apparently they're just like extras. We get no explanation where they were, what they're about, nothing.
Who the fuck cares about the Knights of Ren? You find out their names in this movie. I know that. I don't know if you get it in the movie or if it's like maybe somebody got it from a book or something they released, but I saw the release of the official Knights of Ren, and I thought to myself, who the fuck cares enough about the Knights of Ren to actually care about their names? In all honesty, why do we care about the Knights of Ren at this point?
Yeah, it's like so much in this trilogy. They haven't given us a reason to care about these things.
Yeah. So he goes and he finds out Palpatine's alive, and Palpatine wants him to bring Rey to. He wants to bring Rey to him to turn her to the dark side, and so that's like what Kylo then goes to do. Kylo and the First Order team up with Palpatine and the Sith fleet or whatever that's been sitting there and built up, which the Sith fleet have Death Star tech and all this ridiculous shit. The Knights of who? Exactly. The Knights of who? But this is someone called Ben Swolo, who this is a terrible order. I hate this, whoever did this leak. I wish I had time to like sit there and actually piece it together. But this person came out and just said, these are all the things that happened to, these are all the things that happened in the movie. This guy saw the movie and this is his take on it. And before we start reading these, if you guys can, smash the like button, share the stream out, tag it with hashtag Rise of Skywalker, leaks, something like that. Let everybody know what we're talking about here. So some more confirmation that, yes, Kylo dies after his redemption. Kylo revives Rey. They smile at each other. She says, Ben, and they kiss. Kylo disappears like Luke when he dies. They do not say, I love you. So there's no I love you. But remember when, like, remember when not every Jedi that died disappeared? Remember when that was the thing? Like all the Jedi that died during Order 66?
Remember when they died? It actually made sense. And it wasn't through overexertion the Force, which basically just happened again with Kylo for using that power.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. And also, here's the thing with with Rey kissing Kylo and stuff. Like, Do people forget he murdered his own father in front of her? He slaughtered a group of villagers in the first film.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone would have this love. Like, so the whole thing here is Palpatine reveals that he's been manipulating Kylo from the start, basically, that he was controlling Snoke. He's been controlling everything. And
Palpatine made him kill Han Solo, sure.
Basically, it is kind of what he's saying. So Kylo's not to blame for anything. You know, Kylo is just a good boy. He didn't do nothing wrong. Didn't kill any innocent people. Didn't kill his dad. No, he's good. She was like, that's hot. That's right.
Yeah, she was like, that's hot. Turning into Will Smith.
So Rey is the granddaughter of Grandpapa Palps. Takes the name Rey Skywalker at the end. Rey having BB-8 at the end isn't explained. That's true because that's Poe's. BB-8 belongs to Poe.
I still can't get over the fact that a Palpatine snuffs out the Skywalkers and then steals their name. Palpatine ends up with the Skywalker name.
And that, I think, is the best, like, I think it's going to be as more reviews come out, right? And there's something fishy going on because on IMDb, which I started off at like 9 something yesterday, dropped all the way down to 6.5 on IMDb, and now it's gone. There is no review on there at all on IMDb.
Of course. We've seen this all before.
Now, I would say that, I don't think those people that reviewing actually saw the movie. So maybe there's a reason for them to remove that. But with that being said, you can't trust them at all. And we have a $4.99 super chat from Drunk 3PO. Much love, brother. Thank you, Drunk 3PO. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I think he's streaming right now with somebody, actually. I don't know if he's still live with Candace or what. So Palp got laid. Yes, Palp got laid.
Apparently. First of all, what's the point of connecting Rey to Palpatine? Like, I feel like it would have been so much more powerful if she actually went dark side.
Well, I guess I wonder if this was never the actual plan. We freaking know that, right?
Yeah.
We know that JJ's lying when he says this was the plan. Ian McDermott says JJ didn't contact him until basically a year before, like when they were going to start filming, when they were writing the story for The Rise of Skywalker.
He specifically says that JJ told him that they were considering bringing him back.
Yes.
You don't consider if you already knew in advance.
Exactly. That's from Ian McDermott. So we know that this wasn't the plan. So would they have made Rey a Palpatine if they brought him back or not? I fucking doubt it.
Yeah.
Does JJ even know? Does he even know, or did he just set up a mystery box?
Yeah. What's the point of giving her a lineage if that lineage doesn't explain anything in her backstory to explain what she was able to do in the first 2 films? And what's the point of having Leia train Rey at all when clearly she doesn't need any training?
I don't know.
Well, what did Leia teach her?
Well, Leia was training her to connect to spirits. And speaking of spirits listening in on us, we have someone in the back room.
Uh-oh.
John talks.
John talks.
What's up, buddy? Going on, brother?
What's up? What's up, Ryan? What's up, Sith, man? It's been a minute. How you doing?
I know. Good, man. Good. Well, was good until I found out the leaks were confirmed, but outside of that, I'm good.
That's
How
good.
are you?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of already bracing for the worst. So it's, we kind of all seen it coming. It was like a slow motion train wreck.
You know what's funny is how much I love Star Wars to the point where the night before the leaks were confirmed, I was like convinced, like, no way it could be this bad. Rey kissing Kylo and then saying, no way. So I started looking for any evidence online that the leaks were fake. Found nothing.
Now, is the kiss true? I mean, I've seen the other images, but do we have any like qualifiable evidence for the kiss?
Yeah, the kiss is
Ryan's
true.
going through this guy, Ben Swallow.
Yeah, the kiss is true. And I didn't believe that image was real or not because it looked so bad. But I guess I'm convinced now that it is bad, that it is true. I knew that they were gonna kiss. Like you said, come on. I knew that these leaks were fucking true. They just felt right. It felt like it made sense for something that an idiot would cobble together to try to explain the wreckage that has been this sequel trilogy. So, you know, it makes sense on that aspect. But God, the way that people are reacting, I think is interesting, because some people are so like, it's like they still had hope. It's like maybe they thought that The Last Jedi was the only bad thing that Disney Star Wars has done. I think there are a lot of people like that who loved Force Awakens and just hated Last Jedi. And that's why they're like maybe part of this community or something. And Disney Star has been this way since Force Awakens. And I think people were under that.
We just assumed that, just like I did with the leaks, like no way it could be that. No, there's a plan, right? This is a misdirection or something. We just assumed, and it wasn't the case.
That would have been epic if they actually, had the foresight to do that, to basically, like misdirect the fans, and that this was all BS.
It'd be a good way to prevent leaks, because you put the leak out.
Yep.
If somebody else leaks the real thing, then be like, nah, it's just another leak. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what they should have did. Well, they should have made a good movie. That's what they should have did.
Yeah.
We got a $5 super chat from the Rookie Critic. So Palf got a chick knocked up, and Ray loves the taste of mass murderers. Sounds more and more like Disney lately. God, yeah. God, yeah. Let's keep reading a couple more things that Ben Swallow has to say. And the thing is, Ben Swallow likes the movie. The dude who posted this on Twitter really likes the movie.
Okay. So it's not biased.
No, it's not biased.
You think it's somebody trolling?
No, because this is true. We know this is true based on the pictures that leaked, based on the leaks.
Yeah, those were pretty damning.
Yeah.
Even in the reviews, like, what did that one person say? Like, it's the best no sex love scene I've ever seen. Like,
Elizabeth Banks.
It happens, bro.
Freaking A.
Yeah. Now,
this is episode 9 Twilight.
I will say, someone asked if Ahsoka's in the movie. She's just in there as a voice. Now, that's a leak that we heard in August, like that she was going to be one of the voices at the end. So, but she physically is not in it. No. And I don't know who did the voice either. I haven't heard that, whether it's confirmed to be like Ashley Eckstein, who was the voice of Ahsoka, or not. But before we get back into it, one thing I wanted to say is leaks happen for every movie. Most of the time you're able to avoid them. And this leak, like there were leaks for Avengers Endgame out there, but people had a respect for Avengers Endgame and for all the fans and everything to not put it out there and blast it out there and get it leaked, because people care about that. I don't think anyone really cares about this. When I say anybody, I mean, 85% of people don't care about this movie. They're laughing at it.
I don't know if it's so much that more than it is people just needing to know if they were going to course correct from The Last Jedi, if this was going to be a repeat of what we got before. I think I'm somebody who never looks at leaks, because I'm the type of person where if I know what's going to happen, I can't get into it. So I avoid it like the plague. But this one, I needed to know. I needed to know if we were gonna get another Last Jedi. This arguably is worse.
Yeah. Oh God.
That's saying a lot too. Like, that is saying quite a bit to say that a movie is worse than The Last Jedi. But it's like, how could it? I don't know. After the weak middle link of The Last Jedi, where were they gonna go? Where was JJ gonna go with this story? I mean, obviously, I think he could have went better places than this, but I don't know.
If they were smart, Ron, they'd have split it into 2 parts, because what are the critics saying? What do the leaks read like? It reads like 2 movies being packed into one, and it ends up convoluted. They said it's the most convoluted Star Wars movie.
Well, that's what the leaks made. When we were reading the leaks, we're like, there's like, how the hell are they going to pack all this crap into a movie? And I guess I'm not surprised that they're saying.
I'm not
that.
either. I put out 2 videos about why JJ couldn't save it if he wanted to, and why 9 is out of time, and why they need to split it into 2 parts. Yeah. But that means they'd have to be good at their jobs and actually care. But
or just make a longer movie.
Yeah, why is this shorter than The Last Jedi?
Wait, it's shorter than The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
No, I thought it's officially the longest Star Wars movie.
Is it?
Yeah,
I heard it was the second longest.
Yeah, that's what everything came out as anyway. That it was going to be the longest Star Wars movie. But either way, I agree with you, and I think that in this day, this isn't the era of everything needs to be like an 82-minute runtime. A 90-minute runtime for movies. People would much rather have, maybe not the corporations, but consumers would much rather have a 3-hour movie that is coherent than a 2-hour movie, which is not.
Yeah. So the runtime for Rise of Skywalker is 2 hours and 22 minutes. The runtime for The Last Jedi was 2 hours and 32 minutes.
Wow. Actually wound up being shorter.
Wow.
Yeah. Dang.
That's crazy. We have a $4.99 super chat from Jake117. Says, "What's up, John Talks? I've heard from people that have seen The Rise of Skywalker. They say they're pissed. I'm not seeing it. Good for you. Good for you." And I would say that I've seen some people online have responded to me. They're like, "Oh man, this is really gonna suck. I have to see it because it's Star Wars, but I'm only gonna see it once, or I'm not gonna enjoy it." I'm like, dude, if you have no interest in seeing it, don't fucking see it. This is Star Wars in name only. This is what they are counting on. They are counting on the fact that it just says Star Wars. That's why they've been so fucking low effort on this shit. That's why they thought that they could get away with this, because it says Star Wars. Yeah. So
not just that. It's all these idiots who were complicit in this narrative that allowed Lucasfilm to blame the fans for everything and not take responsibility for the mistakes they were making in the films. People like Steel Wars, Star Wars Explained, the mainstream media surrounding Lucasfilm, like everybody who contributed to the narrative that The Last Jedi is a good movie. It's just these trolls. The criticisms aren't real. They're based in sexism. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. It gave Lucasfilm a scapegoat. It gave them an out, and it gave them a reason not to look in the mirror and see what they're doing is wrong, and it's not working for Star Wars.
I think that's
everybody who contributed to that narrative is complicit, and I hope they're happy.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like, I totally agree with that tweet that you tweeted out. I was like, that's the perfect tweet, because here we were, pretty much just shouting, like, stop, stop with what you're doing, because it's not going to end well. This isn't going to go the way you think. It's like, and you're exactly right. They defended the film no matter what. Even they had criticisms of the movie, but they still, refused to. I mean, they pretty much chilled out. A lot of people out there were just chilling out. And yeah, now you, in the words of another movie, you get what you deserve. I mean, this is unfortunately, I want better for Star Wars fans, and I certainly want better for myself when it comes to Star Wars. But sometimes you got to hit a low. You got to hit the bottom of the barrel, I guess, before you realize that you've got a problem. And I think Lucasfilm has to realize that now.
But the problem is, like, I don't know what's left to save, because as my friend told me the other day, like, this is all canon now.
Yeah.
Officially canon anyways. Like, the damage is done. Anakin's legacy is gone. Stripped away. Obi-Wan is pointless. The events of Qui-Gon's sacrifice, telling Obi-Wan to train Anakin. Obi-Wan going into exile to protect Luke so that they'd have hope to stop the Emperor one day. A new hope. What's the hope now? Rey's the hope. Rey just stole. She just stole it all. It's all Rey now. And now Rey gets to be the one. If you notice, they ended it where she's in the position Luke Skywalker was at the end of Return of the Jedi. She gets to be the one who fosters in the new Jedi Order. Hi, Drunk.
Hey.
What's up, Drunk?
Hey.
Good to see you, man.
Are you depressed?
I'm very sad.
So I feel like you didn't really believe the leaks were true every time we talked about it.
I had hope that even if they were true, that they could have been, like you give two kids like pieces of clay and you tell them to make a bowl, and one of them made a pretty bowl and the other one made one that looks like a turd. Like I was hoping that the bowl might have been shaped a little bit better, but
And not a turd.
We got the
Like not an actual turd.
Pretty bad. And you want to know what this is? Like today I woke up, I was angry today. Well, Sith was texting me all night. Sorry, buddy. I got back to you
it's all good.
I was like, I'm out with someone special. He's like, oh, sorry. But it's still, we were like texting each other like angry texts. Like we were about to have angry, we were going to wrestle each other because we're angry. We had to get it out. I didn't come out right, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
bro,
God.
I had real anger. Real anger.
I know. I was
real anger. Like in my, like for real.
And I've been at, like, my family's in town, and like I've been at Galaxy's Edge like 5 days in a row to ride this dumb ride from early in the morning to whatever. And I'm sitting back today, like everything from top to bottom since Kennedy took over Lucasfilm has been nothing but a disaster. It's been a disaster. Now, people that have ridden that ride said it's awesome, which is great, but it's not working properly. Today there was a fight. I tagged you in that tweet, Ryan, like, because the way they run things there, it's just it's stupid. And then then the movie comes out, and I know it's bad when Brian Young has questions and he had to go back and he had to re-shill himself after he was like tweeting stuff out, like questioning the film. When The Last Jedi came out, Brian Young was like, greatest Star Wars movie of all time, blah blah blah. This one comes out and he's like, well, it would have been neat to see someone who appreciated the lore to create this film. And you're just like, okay, if he's saying that,
yep,
Houston, we got a problem.
Yeah.
Like,
I put out a tweet for that reason. Like, this is one of those films where the more you think about it, the more you process, the worse it is. And the more knowledge you have of Star Wars, the worse it is. This is going to age very poorly. There's a lot of hyperbole right now, and a lot of people who were invited to the after party by Disney who put out tweets of excitement, and it's not going to last. Like, no. You see like the timeline of The Last Jedi, where it took like over a year for people to start turning around, like in the media, and like this is going to be a lot faster. It's going to be a lot quicker turnaround. And somebody put in the chat that mostly all the reviews are positive. The movie is epic. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled.
Well, that's exactly how it was for The Last Jedi. These are raving reviews across the board.
They need to keep going to these premieres. They need to keep glad handing with these celebrities. They need to keep doing this stuff to get their premiere done so that they can be the first one at 3:01 Eastern time tomorrow morning. They can have a review done because they got to see it, so they can get those views. Yeah. That is what this is all about. Political. And that's not to say that no one likes this. People have different tastes. There will be people that genuinely like it. But read the leaks. Like, look at it for yourself. Even if it is the most visually stunning thing you've ever seen in your life, which some people just want to fucking consume. And if that's you, eat away at this shit. But if you just look at the story, how can you say that this is an epic finale to the Skywalker saga? And we got a super chat real quick here from Darth Malrak for, I think, 100 rupees or something. But thank you very much, sir. Raylo was the only thing I was looking forward to in this terrible trilogy, and they managed to even F that one up. Yes. I can't say I'm with you there, but I can agree they F'd it up.
I mean, it's a mess up from everything that they've touched. Like I said, from the theme parks to the movies to even like the books. Like I was on John Talk's show, and I remember showing him like the new book coming out where they made Han Solo like sell Luke's medal for booze.
I couldn't believe that.
And he sells it to Maz, right?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
You know what Maz does at the end of this thing,
for
right?
drinks, for a drink, Ryan.
So you know what Maz does at the end of this?
Yep, I heard this
movie, right? Maz gives Chewbacca a medal because he deserves it.
Luke's medal.
That has to be Luke's medal.
Yep.
That Han sold for fucking booze money.
Unreal. Screwed it, man.
I'm just like, it's
I'm
like
trying not to swear on your stream, man.
No, it's
go
true.
for it. Go for it.
From top to bottom, it's just been one. Like, what are they thinking? Like, the last interview Kathleen Kennedy did, she talked about her round table where all the decisions are made with Pablo Hidalgo, and she name dropped those people, and they're like, yeah, it's always intense around the round table. Actually, I saw that interview on John Talk's channel first. It was the IO9 interview where she's like, I kind of pretend I know Star Wars when I sit around that table, and it's just like, who are these people, and like, what are they thinking? Like, what are they thinking? Do they not have one person there that knows anything about, like, who sits around and goes, yeah, we'll have Han Solo sell booze. It'll grow his character arc. It's like they did a character arc with these characters, and then they're like, let's just crash them at the end, because that's what old white men do. They're bitter, they're old, and let's just crash them and burn them, and they're not important. And you're just like, what are you freaking doing? Like it.
Yeah.
Well, and listen, there was a story. I remember a story early on when they were doing interviews about how they wrote this, and someone was saying that Chris Terrio kept running like down the hall or whatever, like downstairs or wherever, however it's fucking set up, to like pop in and ask Pablo Hidalgo, like, hey, what about this? Would this work? Like when they were trying to come up with the story. And the idea that that's how they're doing these things, the story group is just sitting in a room, just fucking around on Facebook or something.
Yeah.
Waiting for the people that are actually writing this to come and ask questions. What's the story group for if not to write the story? Right now, the story group's only job is to explain to everybody why everything's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like they should be involved in crafting this. And when
I feel like the story group right now exists as sort of a buffer between Kathleen Kennedy inserting her own ideas into Star Wars. And if people don't like that, she has the shield of, well, it was me and it was the story group.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like they're like a proxy for Kathleen to insert what she wants into Star Wars.
Yeah, but you don't think Mr. Pablo knew this was coming? Because he locked himself up where he can't get contacted, shuts down his Twitter, super sealed himself, changed his email address, the whole thing. Like, you didn't think he knew something was coming?
He's like at the bomb shelter, man. He's like, I know that
storm
is coming.
Yeah, looking back on those actor interviews now, like they knew it was coming too. Like, yeah. I'm not surprised. Like, all three of the main cast were like, "Nah, we're done after 9."
Oh yeah, they have no. They're like, you want to even? Nope. I mean, they were like, it's Game of Thrones season 8. All over again. It's like, nope. And listen, John Boyega, he's like he doesn't care. Like on his social media account, he's like dancing and laughing and just like he doesn't care. Like he's like today on his Instagram, he's like, hey, here's
baby Groot.
He's like, here's the opening scrawl, and then he just like makes fun of it. You know, like he just doesn't care.
He looks relieved. He seems relieved. Oh, I'm sure it's done.
He's like free as a bird. Gosh.
Yeah, it's laughable. Really, it is. Coffee Nail says, Pablo Hidalgo, where did your balls go? But and Pablo has been kind of an ass. There is absolutely no doubt about that. But this whole story group, I think, probably feels like they've been pushed in the corner because they're not doing anything. The Lucasfilm, the people who were in charge of lore before Disney bought it were so important to everything. Pablo and Leland Chee specifically were so involved in crafting like overall narratives and keeping everything aligned to the canon. And you might want to say that the EU wasn't canon. There was different levels of canon, different hierarchies. George's stuff was right up top. Right below it was all the books that expanded upon his story. And they were really involved with all of that. Now it definitely feels like they've been pushing a corner. They probably feel like they're attacked on social media because they get bombarded with questions asking why everything's so fucked up. Asking why, if Post saw all these jet troopers fly, then why is he surprised that they fly? Just little things like that are so easy to not mess up. And we got a $5 super chat from My Nerdy Home, who posted an awesome video today. Yeah, she did. Go check that out if you haven't already. And she posted an awesome video on her YouTube about how it's too late for J.J. Abrams to come back saying we need the fans. So great job from her. She says, what's up, guys? The Rise of Skywalker sucks. Smash the like button. Oh, my God. What is this? Ryan is a secret Raylo lover. That is, I can't believe you're a turncoat. I can't.
It's true. I've seen screenshots.
No, there was what an ass, what a bitch, what a cuck did Photoshop me and Jeremy on some Raylo art one time.
Yeah, that was
Nice. Oh gosh, that was horrific.
That was terrific.
Unsubscribed.
Well, you got to do what you got to do. Some people, I'm trying to get the Raylos now to come my way. Trying to appeal the Raylo crowd.
After this movie, they might be pissed about the movie.
Let's see.
Not enough Raylo.
J.J. Abrams' Over Party is trending.
Damn.
What?
J.J. Abrams is over.
Party is trending on Twitter. It's the #1 thing trending.
I've got Impeachment Eve still. Let me refresh.
Oh my god, it's the Raylos.
Yeah, they're mad. It seems like they're mad at his.
Hold on.
I love it. I freaking love it.
Oh god.
I'm just seeing all this shit. There's so...
All right, let's check it out.
What a nightmare.
J.J. Abrams is Over Party is trending.
Are you sharing this, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm sharing. I'm screen sharing.
All right, cool.
The Last Jedi. Look, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm fucking talking about. Is it's split. It's split because the fandom menace and the Disney apologists. Now we are all sitting here doing a victory lap as the people that are still in line with Disney split. The Last Jedi defenders and the people that were just tolerating it and want to like Rise of Skywalker. These people are going to be so pissed at Rise of Skywalker. And I've got some stuff we're going to talk about here in a second. That's like all these people that are saying it's rude to Rian Johnson's trilogy. And
yeah, it's hilarious because like seeing everyone's reactions to the leak, like both sides of the split or whatever over The Last Jedi universally hated the leaks. Universally.
Yeah, that wasn't a good
and they're
sign.
all true. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this from $2 from Dr. Coffnails. There was EU canon. Now there's FU canon, Ryan. And that is 100% true.
This just gets worse and worse. Like, I don't get it. It just gets worse and worse.
Like, I go in and out of denial that.
I'm sorry.
This is actually how
I'm saying it's like it's Last Jedi people. It's Last Jedi lovers with this trend.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at all that. Sorry, Sith. I didn't mean to cut you.
It's okay. It's all right.
Look at this. Look at this. I'm done with this bitch. Feel like pure shit. Just want Rian Johnson back.
Wow.
Who is episode 9
Oh
for?
my goodness.
What should I retweet it as? I love Star Wars fandom.
Wow.
That's not
when episode 9 is so bad, people want Rian Johnson back.
Jeez.
Yeah, but what does he retcon? I heard he only retcons Haldo's light speed thing.
I can't believe he even tried to do that shit. I don't know. Even that seems a little absurd to try to retcon it after the fact.
Yeah, like apparently they asked Poe, like, why don't we just do that? And then he goes, we can't do that. It was a 1 in a billion shot that Haldo made it.
She didn't make it. She fucking died. Like,
well, I mean,
this is appropriate, right? I think this is the appropriate gift response.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. There we go. Had to do it. Let's see. I just saw a super chat from Russell Brown. Han is going to come back just in time to tell Ben, Raylo, Jason that Rey/Jaina is his sister while they're making out. Oh my god. Thank you.
And
Russell.
then Kylo goes, that's hot, and he keeps making out with her.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so it is. It's all Last Jedi people with this. This person doesn't even care. They just want to join.
why is it? But what? I don't know, man. Why are they mad at this film?
Well, think about it. I mean, because JJ was attempting to please everybody. You know, it's like he had the Raylos. He knew of the Phantom Menace, so he was trying to retcon some of the things that, Rian Johnson did. He tried to please everybody, and you know the saying, you try to please everybody, you wind up pleasing no one. And I think that's exactly what's going to come out of this movie. I think, a lot of people are just going to be absolutely disappointed by it. I called this shit, though. I called this back in 3 months ago. I said I got a video out. The Rise of Skywalker will create new backlash, and Disney's destruction of Star Wars will be complete. I'm looking at it right now. And being that it's the finality, it's the end of everything. You know, this is the period on everything. Like, you knew people were not going to be happy with it. I think there were people holding out hope that this movie JJ was going to somehow pull off a miracle. And yeah, he tried to cater to everybody, a little bit to everybody, and now you've got just a shit show movie.
So these people are writing, JJ listened to the haters. They listened to the haters. I want Rian Johnson back. What did he actually listen? What did he listen to?
Ray's lineage.
So
they wanted Raylo. Didn't they not get Raylo at the end? Like, is that
they got Raylo? What are they on about?
I don't
some
really
of those people weren't
understand.
even Raylo people. Some people just liked, you know, the meta-ness or the, you know, how The Last Jedi was so subversive.
God, that movie just, listen, even if they didn't have Luke problems, the movie was just a bad movie.
Agree.
Like it's a bad movie. Like, even if Luke didn't, like, you could take Luke out of that movie, it's just a bad movie. I don't get this. Is it because all the finger, like they like the little finger sex?
I think I know. I think I know why. It's so real. I don't know if they like the finger sex. God, E.T. So Practical Broker for $1. Thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate you. But almost 200 people watching, guys. If you haven't yet, smash the like button, share this stream out there. Let everybody know that we're talking about J.J. Abrams is over and The Last Skywalker. But I think that one of the reasons this is happening is because with these leaks, there are several instances where it seems like JJ is taking a shit on The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
One in the beginning where he's talking about Snoke, or like Kylo is telling Emperor Palpatine about Snoke and about like kill the past, or let the past die, kill it if you have to. And Palpatine basically is like, well, that's ridiculous. I'm here, aren't I? I'm not the past. I'm really pretty fucking relevant. And then there's another moment on Octo 2 where Rey throws her lightsaber away and the Force ghost of Luke Skywalker appears to grab the lightsaber out of the air. Again, you got Force ghosts interacting with this shit. God, I fucking hate the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
But grabs the lightsaber and says something to the effect of, "What? This is too important. You wouldn't want to discard something like this, like Rian Johnson had me do last movie." Like, there are points where he shits on him. And not to mention, this all goes back to the interviews leading up when the whole cast is shitting and J.J. Abrams was shitting in a PC way on The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
It all ties in. This person says,
it makes sense for them to hate it because The Last Jedi put them in this situation where they had to cram all this crap into one movie.
Yeah. Did you guys see the article about the The Rise of Skywalker editor kind of taking a shot at The Last Jedi as well, talking about how the death of Luke Skywalker really put him in a difficult spot going into 9?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was the one thing going into it. I knew JJ had a big problem on his hands, you know, like, because what he had nothing to work with anyway, but I don't know what to say.
You know, it's one thing to not have anything to work with. It's another thing to completely be okay with retconning Anakin Skywalker's legacy and further just shitting on what came before. Like, it is in a way it mirrors The Last Jedi in that way, where it just whatever The Last Jedi didn't ruin retroactively, this movie sought to do.
True.
Yeah, it is. It is so silly because people are going to blame this on us, right? People are going to try to blame this on us. But at the end, right now, you have people like this that says MJ hashtag save Ben Solo 2019, who, right? Who is a sequel trilogy fan, I can only assume. Did you feel like you have fucked up royally when people at the premiere stopped cheering for the iconic kiss and became quiet when you killed off the last true Skywalker? I hope you did, because you could be good, but decided to be a coward. Good JJ. Hashtag JJ Abrams is over party. Retweet.
That's awful.
Wow.
Look at this.
Great
Look at this
tweet.
dude.
Bad
Look at
Holy shit!
this dude says, "I'll see you in hell, bitch." J.J. Abrams is over party.
Oh man. Oh gosh.
Can we just get K-pop stands on the tag so it'll trend? LOL, J.J. Abrams is over. Oh my
Just
god!
like reading them, it's like trending because he appeared correct course after this film, after the last one curved. I don't know.
Not all men, but definitely this fucking guy.
Yes. Hashtag J.J. Abrams is over.
I just don't like the course correction for me would have been Luke Skywalker, right?
Thank you.
It's that simple. Bring
Thank
Luke back to
you.
the flesh. You know, that was the biggest issue that fans had out of The Last Jedi. That was it. And Kathleen Kennedy, get this. In that IO9 interview, she said that fans will feel listened to with this movie. How? Luke was the biggest issue out
That
of it.
was it. We didn't want Palpatine. You could have kept Snooki. You could have kept. I don't care what bad guy you had. You could have kept them all.
This is what I think. I talked about it earlier. When you had, they specifically were focusing in this movie on struggles that Rey has. She struggles with not being able to connect to the spirits to talk to her, and she struggles with her anger issues to the point where, guys, you think that you get a gotcha in this where you think Chewbacca's dead because Rey gets angry because she can't pull down a ship back to the planet, and lightning springs forth from her hands and blows up a fucking ship. Literally, that happens in this movie. So she's struggling with her anger. She also just stabs Kylo straight through the chest after he finds out that Leia dies.
Oh yeah, guys, that's right. Guess what? Kylo loses again to Rey.
Jesus, freaking 3 times in a row. Gosh.
4 times in this movie, I believe. They have 4 lightsaber fights, if I remember right.
That was JJ trying to compensate for the lack of lightsaber battles you got in the previous 2 movies. I get it.
I heard they were bad.
They don't look that great in the trailer. I don't.
And I was like, they basically pulled a throne room. They basically mirrored the throne room scene from Episode 8, where Rey tosses Kylo a saber because Kylo's getting his butt kicked despite having like 10 times the training Rey has. She force Skypes him a lightsaber.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of instances of the connection thing, and it wasn't very clear last time if they could like actually physically interact with each other because, and I'll get to this question in a second, TT. Was Lucas not invited, or did Lucas decline the invite? I think John might know because he did a video on it recently. But
I posed both things, and I was like, either way, if he was invited and he declined, or they didn't invite him. Either way, it's like Disney disrespected him, or it speaks volumes to how much George Lucas hates what Disney has done. So either way, it reflects badly on Disney, in my opinion.
There's no way you could spin it now to convince me that George Lucas is okay with the sequel.
Hell no.
It's not like he's busy or anything. Like, what the hell else is he doing?
Oh, yeah.
You know? So maybe he wanted to get some sleep because he wants to watch Mandalorian or something. I don't know. But God, totally lost my fucking train of thought.
Kylo losing again. Force Skype.
The force Skyping.
Yeah.
There's several instances in this one where like they physically interact. They have a lightsaber fight while force Skyping with their connection. And remember in The Last Jedi, Rey shoots Kylo, but nothing happens. It goes straight through him. So didn't interact with him there. But now they're having lightsaber duels. There's a MacGuffin in this, a little fucking neck. I guess this is a mini MacGuffin, a necklace that Rey gets given, and she has visions of something from it when she touches it. And Kylo force Skypes and grabs the necklace and is able to examine it on his Star Destroyer to determine where she's at. So this force Skype thing breaks fucking everything. Just like the Force Ghost thing breaks everything. If Force Ghost can fucking interact with people,
yes.
Then why the hell was Yoda not doing some shit for 30 years?
Why the hell did Obi-Wan and Yoda show up to defeat Palpatine?
Yeah, why couldn't Luke just Force Skype a lightsaber through the Emperor's brain in Episode 5 or something?
Because
it's
stupid.
The same bullshit.
It's stupid. And I'm so
it's stupid, bro.
Right. Freak. What's wrong with these people, man?
And people could say we're being like unreasonable, but this is just simple stuff. Like if you just think about it, you know, it's like it doesn't take a genius to realize that, you know, if you compare it with the lore that came before, and you know, you got to stick within the rules of the universe that you create.
Thank
You
you.
have to.
What are they? What are they? Doctor Strange now? Here you go. Here's a lightsaber. All right, I'm going back to my television. What's wrong with these people, man? Did you see that leak? Like they're able to like Kylo Ren's getting beat up and Rey's like, okay, I'll open a portal. Here's a lightsaber. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's what.
What? Yeah.
Like I want a pizza. Hold on. Let me use the Force. All right. Thank you. All right.
Wait a second. If Luke could have done that, he could have just force projected himself for real through.
Might as well have been there to die. If he was going to die anyway, he should have just been there anyway.
Well, the Force Skyping thing is with their connection that Snoke somehow gave them.
Yeah, he
whatever,
said he was
right?
searching their mind.
Oh, Snoke, the meaningless clone?
Yes. And they're evidently like clones of Snoke that you can see in the background of this, in the background of the Emperor.
Gosh.
I should get to that, actually. Let's fucking read through these ridiculous things.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
Real quick, Chris Curran, I heard you love Baby Yoda. You are a liar, sir. You are a liar, but thank you for the super chat.
I'm just trying to like listen. I can't wrap my brain around people sitting down and going, they're gonna love this film. This is exactly what Star Wars needs.
But Drunk, it was the co-writer, you know, Chris Terrio. He wrote Justice League. Drunk. So
yeah,
you know.
Well, I'm pretty sure Chris wrote Zach's Justice League, and then I don't know what happened to that script all the way in between to what we got with Joss Whedon. We all know this. We all know the story about that.
Yeah, but when you have Mark Hamill on an interview saying, "I was looking forward to Chris's vision. We had talked about it. We knew where we were heading with it. We knew what was going on." You have Mark Hamill saying, I was looking forward to it. You know? I mean, it's like,
yeah.
I would have taken that than I'm just saying.
It kind of feels like JJ almost gave up because he kept doing interviews saying, this is the hardest thing I've ever done, the hardest thing I've ever done. And then I saw an interview from a couple days ago where he was like, you know, I didn't really have to explain everything. The original trilogy left a lot for you to explain in your imagination. And I was like, oh, this is just a scapegoat to not have to fill in plot lines.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get and read Ben Swolo. Let's finally get to Ben Swolo. And we got War Campaign in the chat. Hail War Campaign. What's going on, man? It's good to see you here.
Campaign, Phantom Menace is better than Comicsgate.
Oh, come on. Come on, Druck. They are, I would say that they are not mutually exclusive.
He knows he's that. It was because they had said that. Oh, you got your shirt, boss.
Yeah,
nice.
He knows I'm just messing
this shit out.
That looks pretty darn good, man. Nice job with those, Drunk.
My man, brother, my man.
That looks great. Oh, we do have
I love Sith, man. Y'all, he's a supporter. He's good. Yeah, all y'all are supporters. Y'all good people.
I got to get one of those shirts though.
Yeah, that's badass.
War Campaign, hail, brother.
Hail, War Campaign.
So over 300 people in chat. Everybody, if you haven't already, smash the like button. Thank you guys so much for being here. Share the stream out. Share it with, hashtag the rise of Skywalker and hashtag JJ Abrams is over party. And let's get more people in here laughing at all this stuff. So Ben Swolo, a dude who is a fan of this, this is the things he says. We talked about how Kylo dies. We talked about Rey being the granddaughter. Leia and Kylo have no scenes together. Rey stabs Kylo during their fight at the same moment Leia dies. Rey cries and heals him after. So that's the moment we're talking about. That's the moment we're talking about where Kylo feels his mother die.
Why didn't Luke heal Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi?
Well, he didn't have that power yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. And that's the thing. He was talking about we want to make all these new powers, and that's one of them, this magic healing power, which I think is why we saw it introduced in The Mandalorian with Baby Yoda attempting to do that. It's honestly why I think that happened.
You see War Campaign's chat about you?
Let me see. Hit like, brethren. Smash that like button like Ryan's virginity. Well,
I'm sorry.
You got kids, right?
I do have two kids, so hit it a little harder than that. But yeah, absolutely. Hail War Campaign. But what do we got here? But the fact that Leia and Kylo have no scenes together, yet her death is this meaningful thing that basically puts him to the light side. That's so stupid. Like, how could they not have maybe? Well, I guess they're limited because Carrie Fisher's fucking dead. I guess that's true. But at the same time, I feel like you got to do something to establish a little more connection between them.
Yeah, like if there was like some final moments.
Leia was secretly a Jedi now.
Oh yeah, what about that?
By the way, she never completed her training, and she's gonna teach Rey, but not Luke.
Well, I mean, she did fly through space, though, Sith. I mean, that's kind of what you do if you're like a white belt or a green belt when it comes to the Jedi Order. You know, you just fly through space. True.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that was she basically was trained, but she didn't complete her training. The Last Jedi thing is just ridiculous. I think everybody probably just forgets about that. I don't think anyone in Lucasfilm is ever going to try to think about it again. Just ignore the fact that it happened.
But the Force, man. Oh, go ahead and read your super chat.
TLJ Screwjob 499. So Ryan, is your issue with Filoni him or stuff in TCW like Mandalore? Mandalore was a hellhole in the EU, but TCW is peaceful. It all goes together. I think Dave Filoni is fine. My issue is that everybody praises him as like the fucking savior. And thank you for the super chat, TLJ. I think he's fine, but I do think he's very simplistic and very limited. And he broke a lot of pre-established lore for no reason like that. That was kind of my issue with him. But yeah, thank you for the super chat, man.
The Force, though, man. The beauty of what the Force is like it's so mysterious, and it like coexists with like consciousness and your feelings. Like the Jedi. The Jedi tried to do the will of the Force where it led them. They kind of went, you know, they like had this feeling of kind of the Sith tried to control the Force, you know, like they wanted the Force. In short, you know, we can go into this whole thing about the Force. They were in the EU. There were healers. There were people that had special gifts from the Force that honed in on those gifts. And they've just taken the Force and just basically like put a bunch of things in a fishbowl and pulled it out and said, okay, you can do that. All right, you can do that one.
Yeah, it's a superpower now.
Don't do it anymore. You know, it's almost like a spy. Like I love when the Force was like a spider sense. You know, it's like oh, I sense it. Like I sense it. I sense evil, and then like you could literally see the Jedi letting the Force control them when they were blocking laser blasts and things like that, like all that stuff. And now it's just, I need to go to that spaceship. Let me fly through space. Let me open a Force portal to hand you something. Let me step out as a Force ghost to just be like a regular person.
It used to be something that took
away the mystery of it all, man. It
used to be something that was sensitive, that took focus, that took, you know, composure, that took effort, you know?
Yeah.
That you had to learn how to do because it's not simple. It's complex. It's hard to understand. You need training to understand it.
And that's why I was so happy with Finn. Finn was my dude. Finn was my character. I wanted to learn everything about Finn. I thought, how cool would it be to have someone that as a child grew up as a stormtrooper, but is Force sensitive, doesn't know anything about it. You know what I mean? Like, and then you could see him progress. Like you never hear that story so much. Well, you didn't in the movies, but you don't really hear that stories of someone that's older. That's like, I got something going on here and I don't know what to do with it. It's, you know, because different people had different, I guess you'd say, levels of the Force. And I thought it would just be so cool to see him progress. And then, like, you know, maybe at the end, like, can you help me a little bit, Luke? Like, can you?
Yeah, they totally squandered that
stuff that's going on. And they just, oh my God, what were they thinking?
Yeah, War Campaign is right. He says the Force is basically magic now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's magic now. We're pulling rabbits out of a hat. We're pulling real life lightsabers out of the Force. We're passing it through the Force, real objects.
Well, and J.J. Abrams talked about that, how like he thought that something that was necessary with this trilogy was new Force powers we'd never seen before.
Why?
What? It doesn't make sense.
No, I don't
know.
Why
is that necessary? Why is that necessary but not training? Why is that necessary, but not sticking to the lore, not breaking the lore, not contradicting the previous films? Why is that not necessary? Why is not doing things that retroactively hurts everything the legacy characters we grew up on, know, and love did before? Is Anakin's legacy not important? Is that
It's
not
not.
necessary?
War Campaign, can you rate my sunglasses game? That's all I want to know. If War Campaign likes my sunglasses game, then it's all good. My day will be better.
Real quick, Russell Brown, Force Skype is lazy writing, but in the new books, I don't know if it's in the new books or not. I'm not sure. And then another one from TLJ Screwjob, power like Quinlan Voss's would have been cool to see. Well, and it's kind of every time Rey touches something, she has a fucking flashback, which is kind of like Quinlan Voss's Kifar, force powers that he has a little bit. But yeah, he said for some reason they wanted to introduce these new grand force powers just to distract from the fact they have no fucking plot. When you look at the prequels, did we see any new force powers really?
No.
The force was used to push and pull objects to interact telekinetically with them. Maybe the one you can say is the fact that Yoda was able to absorb and redirect force lightning. Which is a pretty rare thing. To do, but that's really just going off an already established force power in a way to counter that.
But you still learned like the different Jedi and like what they homed in on their skills. They talked about Mace Windu being the best swordsman. They talked about, this person being the best pilot and all. They just honed in on like their skills. And then Anakin, he was a little in the movies. He was a little arrogant because he thought he was the best at everything. So, but it's just, man, what they've done, man. I just can't get over. It's very disheartening. You're a fan for years, you buy all the crap. You read the books, you study the lore, you have discussion with your friends, you go out and do Star Wars conventions, you laugh, man, you have fun with all this, you do all these things, and The Last Jedi comes out and you're like, God, it was horrible, but they still got one more chance. They got one more chance, and yeah, I was holding on to like whatever hope there was that maybe that I could deal with 50% of like whatever crap they're going to throw in, but maybe 50% they would try to like fix it, but they have just gone full blown. J.J. Abrams basically said, I'm just going to make my own movie and I don't even care what it does. Like,
yeah, he said F it. He said F it.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Like, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Like, it's just like, man.
Well, I think too, when it comes to, and I hear you, Drunk. It's like, when it comes to force powers, the thing about Yoda, even what he did in the prequels, it was a little more believable because he was like a veteran in the force. He was how old at that point? So it's more understandable too when you see people that are displaying more powerful uses of the force. If Luke Skywalker, when Rey met him and the rocks were just, hovering above the ground because Luke was just, emulating with the force, it's a little understandable, or we could buy into that a little bit more because
it's not a natural progression from what we've seen, and it makes sense.
Yes.
Think about how it was in the prequels, like we have established. Even if you want to say even there are people that have higher force potential. You look at midichlorian count, you look at all that. Anakin had a higher midichlorian count than Yoda, but Yoda was more powerful than him. Only in your mind, my young apprentice. He was on Yoda's level, and that's why you see at the end, Yoda doesn't go after Anakin because Yoda and Anakin are probably most closely matched in force powers. Yoda goes after Sidious because they are the closest matchup, and Obi-Wan goes after Anakin because even though Obi-Wan doesn't have the midichlorian count, right? They're equals. They're almost equals because of the training that Obi-Wan has and the experience that he has. And over time, Anakin would have surpassed, anyone given enough time to train like that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's back when training and experience mattered. Like, it's so weird how Rey can do all these things, right, with no training. And then you have Anakin Skywalker, who's literally born from the Force. And after 10 years of Jedi training, he still couldn't beat his more experienced master.
Excellent point. Yeah.
Now, if he hadn't got a little cocky with that whole high ground shit, you know.
You can see that as Darth Vader, though, Sith. Like when he became Vader, like his level just went. He was the most feared man in all the galaxy, and he was untouchable as like a master.
Well, yeah, that was Anakin with more experience, but he was also technically less powerful as Vader than he was as Anakin.
Probably because
like, right? That's a good point. He was less powerful in the Force, but because of more experience, he was more capable.
Yeah.
You know?
And that seems to be kind of like the idea, like almost like the midichlorians. Like, not that it's an exact representation, but it's like that idea of like you can have natural talent, but if you don't train and if you don't hone that talent, then, you know, somebody else is still going to kick your ass who doesn't have that natural talent.
That's exactly what I said in my Scene That Sunk the Sequels video, right? Like you could have somebody you could be the most naturally gifted boxer of all time, naturally gifted, but you have no training. You're not going to beat a freaking amateur who's had a year of training. You can get your butt kicked, even if you have like natural ability. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
TLG Screwjob, another $1.99 super chat. Comedic relief, black stereotype, but diversity. Jesus, yeah. And evidently that's kind of what, you know, Poe or Finn is basically just another background. You don't get much on his character in this. We'll go over it a little bit here. And then Lethal Lightning, Australian G allows, repent, go to the EU and atone for your sins. And I completely 100% agree.
I got the EU books right behind me. I'm about to get into them.
I have them into me too. I wish I could get into them, if you know what I mean. But let's do a couple other of these things right here. Like here, movie does not explain how Palpatine is back. Palpatine created Snoke, and there are a couple of tanks with Snoke clones in them. Nothing else is explained.
What?
Yeah.
No, you got to explain that. You know, you got to. You gotta fucking explain that shit. Like, you know,
yeah, let's not explain the biggest fucking question everybody has going into episode 9.
War campaign. Yeah, that's right. War campaign. We do have the best women.
That's true.
That's true. And they all send me pictures of them wearing my freaking leggings.
Well, so that could have totally went in a different direction.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. That was way.
No, but it was perfectly kosher. You're definitely fine. So
because it's really impossible to explain why so many women buy drunk 3PO leggings. So I see where you're making the connection there. That they did not explain this at all.
True. There's no explanation for it. Yeah.
That's true.
It's just like
I might clip that. That's pretty funny, right?
Thank you. And I can get not wanting to go into too deep of detail, but just make him a fucking clone. Just fucking make him a clone, damn it. Like, wouldn't that have been easy? Or would that be too close to Dark Empire? Because you know they ripped some of this straight from the pages of Dark Empire, a comic book from the mid-90s. Was that just too close? They just decided to leave it open to interpretation.
Could he have teleported out of the Death Star? Like, would that have been a possibility?
He Skyped himself out of the Death Star shaft.
There you go. Anything. I mean, you need an explanation. You can't just say he's alive. If this is true, that is such. Like, JJ's just getting lazy at that point.
He's always been lazy.
He has, but there's no excuse for that. You have to. The bad guy's got to explain how he's back from the dead.
They had so many easy ways they could have done that. They could have used him pouring his essence into somebody else after he died, or what? I mean, they could have.
What I thought they were gonna do.
They could have gone a million routes to make it to explain it. It's really easy. But the thing at the end is you got Yoda that can't beat Palpatine. You got Luke that didn't beat Palpatine. You got Vader who thought he beat Palpatine. But the only one that can do it is Rey. And then
wait till you see how she does it, by the way. Wait till you see how.
She curb stomps him, apparently, and then but the buildings fall upon her. Are we allowed to talk spoilers? Okay.
Oh, then, this is all spoilers. This is all spoilers.
And then freaking Kylo Ren like breathes life into her and like, you know, kisses her and gives him his essence. And then
from what I understand, she literally kills Palpatine by raising her lightsaber and deflecting the lightning back at him.
Yeah, you'd think that he would maybe just stop at some point, you know? He didn't learn his lesson from Mace Windu when the lightning was deflected back into him. He just kept going.
But that's what I'm saying. Even then in that scene, it was Palpatine playing up the effect that it was having on him to manipulate Anakin.
Exactly.
They need to be fired, man. There needs to be
now today. No more games. I'm done with this. I'm done.
This
She needs
so
to go. That whole regime at Lucasfilm needs to go. No more.
How do you?
No more, bro. This is the ending to the Skywalker saga. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we waiting for?
Did you hear the report that it's estimated to make almost 500 million
globally?
Wait, total?
I saw 450. No, you're talking about globally in the first weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard 4 estimates right now, 450 opening weekend from around the world. That's what I'm hearing. But we'll see what happens when people actually see it. 4.99 from Russell Brown. TLJ book explains when Snoke bonded Rey's mind, she learned all the Force powers through his mind bond. Hence, Force Skype lazy write-in. Totally agree. That is how they tried to explain the fact that she's a Mary Sue. And then the rookie critic, who's been baking subs, saying release the Snyder Cut all week long. This movie sounds so barf. Star Wars needs Jay's calves and and hail Baldman and hail Mr. Sith. I am so close to get Subway to release the Snyder Cut. It said Baldman. Damn.
John was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was out of nowhere. Hail Baldman.
Shout out, rookie. John was like, what?
Yeah. What the? I'm not saying anything. I'm gonna be the bigger man here. I'm not saying anything.
Didn't Subway tweet release the Snyder Cut?
Yes, they did. They've been all about it. They have been all about it. So,
John just leaned back with a grin.
What do you say
like this, John? You should have just put your finger.
Yeah. So let's get back to a couple of these things. After the redemption, Ben doesn't have any lines. That seems crazy. So there's a scene, guys. There's a scene after Rey stabs Kylo and then Force heals him. He has a vision of Han Solo, basically doing the exact same thing that the same lines that he had in Force Awakens. And it convinces him to, instead of stab him this time, throw his lightsaber into the depths of the water by the Death Star. And he's redeemed. He's now Ben Solo. And he doesn't have any lines after that, evidently, which is crazy.
Yeah, I also heard Palpatine really does nothing either.
Well, I mean, he just basically said some stuff. He said some stuff to Kylo in the beginning about, how he's been manipulating him and he wants Rey to turn her to the dark side. And then at the end, he's basically just trying to get Rey to attack him, to give in, to turn to the dark side. That's pretty much all that happens from my understanding. War Campaign says, I like Ryan because he looks like a slippery otter with a squarer jaw. Well, thank you, War Campaign. So let's see. What else? About Reylo moments. God, listen to this. There were honestly moments that could have been so hot if they'd handled it better. The way they talked to each other was kind of wink, wink, and the Force bond was really strong, so that was cool. Again, this is a dude who really likes this movie and The Last Jedi and Reylo and all this stuff. So this is a person, this isn't some like biased source. This is a dude who likes the movie.
Read what War Campaign said.
Can we get Sith Kryptonian to not put his fingers in his ears on stream and sit up straighter?
Roger, I didn't even realize. Sometimes I do weird shit when I'm on stream. I forget I'm on camera.
We got a $5 Australian super chat from Lethal Lightning. Glory for today is the final day of work for the year. Today I'm paid to drink and resist the urge to expose my elevated dong to the boss's spawn. Jesus.
Wow, Lethal. Wow.
Abu Nas
What's up,
for
Abu?
$5. Getting my matches right now, baby, because I'm going to burn it down. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Hashtag release the Lucas Cuck. The Lucas Release the Lucas Cut. Love this awesome channel. Kick ass, guys. Thank you, Abu. I said cuck so many times on the stream last night talking about all these blue check marks. God. Let's see. Some other good ones. Luke's ghost appeared to catch Rey's lightsaber when she tried to throw it away. Yep. The LGBT moment. Have you guys heard about the LGBT moment?
No.
Yeah.
So there's a moment at the end where they're celebrating and two women have a small kiss for like 1 second. This is all the LGBT representation that everybody wanted.
Priorities, guys.
It's
Dang,
important.
Ryan, we got like 500 people in here. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we got over 400 people watching, guys.
Nice.
If you haven't liked the stream, keep sharing it. I'll let everybody know what's going on, that we're talking about J.J. Abrams is over. We are talking The Rise of Skywalker, and we are talking about Release the Lucas Cuck. So absolutely, we're having a great time.
Congratulations, man. I don't want to hear no crap saying I don't get the views anymore. Like, anyway, that's a whole nother chat. But
Well, I've had a lot of success with streams lately. That's what I'll say, and I'm really blessed. So
Smash that like button, by the way.
that is, yeah. Thank you, guys. Smash that motherfucking like button.
I just want you to know that it rose when I joined the stream. Just so you know.
That's true. It did. It absolutely
Something
did.
else also rose when you joined the stream drunk.
That's what I think Lethal was talking about, his elevated dong. That must have been where it was from. So, War Campaign says, take off your shirt. Drunk.
Only if you sub to my channel and send your brothers to sub to my channel.
So here's the interesting thing. Like you said, the whole thing with giving the lightsaber through the Force bond. So when Rey is like confronting Palpatine, she has Luke and Leia's lightsabers. So she has the one that she has been using and the one that they found on Ahch-To that Leia gave up when she stopped being a Jedi. Ben Solo walks there. He threw his lightsaber away and he just has no weapons. He just is walking up to confront the Emperor too and gets the shit beat out of him by the Knights of Ren. And as that happens, she gives him the lightsaber through the Force bond, even though they're like ways away from each other. So that's the thing. This thing is so stupid and such like a cheap way to forward your storyline. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's like there's no risk involved. They're like, Kylo's getting beat up. How do we help? Just use the Force. It's fine.
Yeah, just have Rey give him a lightsaber like the last movie.
JJ, copy and paste.
Makes
Copy and paste.
no sense. So I see War Campaign.
Yeah. Kennedy's Sarlacc pit terrifies me, says Dan Marshall. Yes. It should terrify everyone. But it's basically just more of the same. It's basically all stuff confirming exactly what we've been fucking told from the leaks from day one. But there's been some interesting responses. Who's the favorite response that you guys saw, do you think, of the blue checkmark brigade? Other than Uche.
Who was it? The one that said that episode 9 was horny?
Oh yeah, it was like low-key horny or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh man.
So this article is from IndieWire. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker divides critics and first reactions. Rude to Rian Johnson, which is what we're fucking talking about, right? Which is the reason that J.J. Abrams is canceled, is trending, or J.J. Abrams is over, is because of all these Last Jedi stands.
They're going to boycott this movie. That's the irony of it. They're going to boycott the frickin' movie.
Wouldn't that be funny if the Fandom Menace goes to laugh at it?
Dude.
Spends money to laugh at it, and the sequel trilogy fans boycott it?
Ryan Johnson has a really, I guess he's got a dedicated fan base, doesn't he?
There are people that really like it, and
but they're all weird. Sorry, I mean I shouldn't judge people. They're
all fucking weirdos. I mean, sorry, we're all
people. Like if you like Ryan Johnson, you're a weirdo.
That's all I have to say. Weird. I like Brian Young, man. He's weird. I'm sorry, he is. He's a weird person. He wears a sweater vest to Galaxy's Edge to ride rides. Nobody does that. Nobody does that unless you're a 60-year-old grandpa, okay? He's not a 60-year-old grandpa. And then he wears khakis that are too tight. So he's got dumb lap syndrome. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
It's like I've been waiting a whole year to get that off my chest.
They are
just inside Brian Young's khakis.
Yeah, he's got some dumb. Listen, he was in Orlando for the Ride of Resistance ride. When they wouldn't let the regular people ride it, he was there. And he wore these khakis, and
carrying him is probably what broke it down, to be honest.
His freaking butt was hungry the whole time he walked around. You ever see somebody with a hungry butt? They got that wedge that people want to pull out. He just leaves it in because his khakis are too tight.
Want to pull out,
dude. People got hungry butt, and then he's got the freaking sweater vest. And it's freaking Florida. Okay, it's hot, but he's got to wear the sweater vest. And every picture, he's like this.
He does. He's always got his arms crossed, trying to look like a badass. That is true.
Badass in his sweater vest.
But let's look at some of these reactions. Mike Ryan, and this again, these are from people who have a vested interest in keeping their line, their spot at the next Disney premiere. Keep the gift bags, the glad handy with all the stars and all that stuff. These are these people. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is certainly the most convoluted Star Wars. There is a lot I liked, but the first half gets so bogged down with exposition and new plot and doodads and beacons and transmitters, so MacGuffins, it feels like it should have been 3 movies on its own. My favorite Star Wars are the ones that take their time to focus on the characters. First half all feels like exposition. It gets better, and Lando rules, but there's so much plot, feels so rushed, and the Emperor stuff is so weird. So, Laura Prudhomme. I'm still processing Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. The emotional highs are spectacular, and there are a lot of payoffs, some earned, some not. But some choices feel like an unnecessary course correct from The Last Jedi, and some plain just don't make sense. Need to see it again.
See, there was one where this guy, I don't know. I have him all ready from my stream tonight. I don't know. He was like the senior writer, senior film critic for someone. He just released it. It was hilarious. He was just like, in the serious moments, the crowd started to laugh. Like basically saying the crowd was laughing. If you go to my Twitter, I retweeted it, but my Twitter's been a mess. So, but it's just, he's like, people were laughing when they shouldn't have been laughing.
Dave Schilling, I think it's this guy. Ironically, this dude's name is Dave Schilling.
I was gonna say,
yeah, if you go all the way down. Like if you keep reading it, it's like it gets better.
Yeah, it's so we read this early, but there were only like 100 people, so I'll read it again. Again, if you guys are just popping in and joining us, we are talking leaks. If you don't want to be spoiled on this movie, this might not be the stream for you. If you don't want to be spoiled on this movie, then I'm also sorry that you still care about it. But in regards to the leaks,
it's true. All of it.
And yes, that is true, Han Solo. It is all absolutely true.
I just thought an ad started playing on my computer. I was like, what?
No. That's a new thing I found out with Streamlabs. A new thing I found out with Streamlabs. I'll show you guys how to do it. And check out Super Chat from Geeky Candy. Great panel. Rejoice, friends. We have each other. We have each other, and we have the expanded universe. Thank you, Candace. Thank you. Appreciate you. But yeah, let's read this guy. Dave Schilling. I don't know who he works for, but he used to write for a bunch of people. Having seen Rise of Skywalker, I can safely say this last Star Wars trilogy is the most schizophrenic, unsatisfying major trilogy of all time. And this comes from someone who liked the first 2 movies.
That's a good description, schizophrenic.
Yeah. They don't
what it
sound
sounded
like
like.
they're in the same trilogy.
No.
You know, 8 doesn't feel like 7. 9 doesn't feel like either.
There's no cohesiveness to it. There's like no consistency.
And this is the problem, and he talks about this later. So strained so hard to invent new characters, situations, and threats that pretty much nothing gets paid off from the first 2 movies.
Damn.
I left the theater feeling completely numb to 70% of what happened. J.J. Abrams said yes to an impossible task. He did the best he could, I think. Next time, maybe Lucasfilm should have a plan that might have prevented this movie from feeling like a kid making up a ridiculous story with a chest full.
I've been saying that for
That's what we've been. Yep. 2 freaking years. 2 freaking years.
2 years we've been telling people this. I'm mad. I know I don't get this angry, but today I'm like, I've lost my crap.
I'm with you, drunk.
And it's, like I said, I'm further along in this grieving process. 2014 hit, and I went through this all the way up to Force Awakens. Force Awakens was my low point when I realized what Star Wars had become. And now I'm not happy that people are hating this shit. I wish people could love it, but I'm sitting laughing at what is going on, at the fact that we now have all of this shit and these people tearing each other apart that were saying that we're the fucking toxic ones. Now they're tweeting out that J.J. Abrams is a bitch.
Yeah, but it's their fault that they got a bad movie, because by saying we're the toxic ones, we're to blame for The Last Jedi, and that The Last Jedi was actually good. It didn't do anything wrong. Rian Johnson farts roses and shit's, I don't know, gold. Like it's the fans. It's the fans. The movie's good. It's the fans. It allowed Lucasfilm not to have to take responsibility, and this is the result.
Yeah, we got $2 super chat from Lethal Lightning. The Tang calls, the member elevates, the EU towers. Yes, thank you, Lethal. And then a $20 super chat from TK. Thank you so much. My first super chat for RK Outpost. This should help buy some charcoal for Baby Yoda barbecue. Hell yeah. Thank you for covering the expanded universe, a rich trove of stories faithful to the spirit of Star Wars, unlike the Disney trilogy. Well, you are welcome. You are very welcome. And I've been a little lighter on the EU content because of all of this shit we have coming down. I will be getting much harder into that, shortly, as soon as this kind of calms down. And I think it's easy to compare what we're getting with the sequel trilogy to the great stories we got in the expanded universe, because it was done with so much more love and dedication. 100%.
You know what like I'm feeling now with the fact that basically episode 9 just retconned everything I loved about the characters that came before. The EU community went through that when they decanonized it, like way back, right?
Yes. On a smaller scale than the Phantom Menace, I went through a lot of very similar stuff as part of the expanded universe fandom, because the same thing happened. We're like, wait, this is messed up. Like, we've been fans for so long. Why are you doing this? And they basically told us to suck it. When we said, we don't like this new stuff that's coming out, they said, like the new books, they're like, well, you just don't like it because it focuses on a woman or it focuses on a gay person. You guys are racist, sexist bigots. The same shit, man. The same shit.
Same shit.
Yeah. But yeah, this dude, Dave Schilling, not holding true to his name. He's following exactly 2,000 people. That's interesting.
Wow.
But Lethal says, claim backholes of your foes, meme until they love. Thank you, Lethal.
Lethal's very poetic tonight.
He is. He's channeling War Campaign tonight, for sure. But where was I? Oh, more of these responses. Kyle Buchanan. Rise of Skywalker could only have been ruder to Rian Johnson if they had motion smoothed it.
Dang.
Yolanda Machado. So I'm not too surprised. And at the times, I felt too much fan service was given. But the Rise of Skywalker is everything and nothing that you're expecting. What the fuck does that even mean?
That means it's nothing.
So I guess what my immediate reaction is, God, I love this franchise and I'll miss the Skywalker saga. I missed it too. It's because that was episodes 1 through 6, and that shit is fucking gone now. How is anyone going to sit down? If you sit down now and watch these trilogies, or this trilogy, this sequel trilogy, 7, 8, and 9, what are people going to think a couple years from now that didn't watch all this unfold as to how it's connected?
I don't know.
Stunned silence. Is this a sunglasses stream? Is that what's fucking going on? Am I missing it? Is it sunglasses?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's because our future's too bright.
Luckily, I come prepared.
I'm afraid like these movies won't like have a sticking longevity like the other ones.
Nope.
Did,
It's gonna age like milk. It's gonna age like milk.
I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like, but you know, times have changed too. When I was a wee lad, and like when Star Wars first appeared on like network television in my home, it was like a big deal. Like my parents like bought pizza and you know like how you have to wait for streams to start. Like that's how you did it back then. It was like it's coming on at 8:00 on NBC, and you're like, okay, well we got to be home, we got to be ready. It ain't like that anymore. This will just come on Disney Plus, and then that'll be the end of it. You know what I mean? That'll be the end of it. It'll just come on streaming, and that's that.
It is.
It's so bad, dude. It's like depressing. How do you freaking mess it? Like I can understand messing some stuff up. All right, I'll give you, but you always I could bend a little bit like a reed, but it's just like a total like you said, JJ's just like, I don't care. I'm just gonna make a standalone film. I ain't got much to work with, so whatever. You know you're killing legacies of Anakin Skywalker. He's probably like, who? Nobody watches those movies anymore.
Another one. I'm done with.
They killed it. He stole it and gave it to Rey.
They must have paid JJ up the ass for him to come back and do this movie.
That's what I'm thinking. And probably when he got to it, he was like, oh my God, what am I like? What did I get myself into? And that's why he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, he did not sound like a guy who was happy about what he was doing.
Yep. Here you go. Look at this. The Skywalker bloodline shouldn't have been erased from existence. It shouldn't have been subjected to shock value. If anything, it's not the rise of Skywalker. In the case, as the title of the movie suggests, it goes against it. Hashtag JJ Abrams is over party.
It's the demise right now. The demise of Skywalker. It's not the rise. It's the demise.
Ooh, John. Trademark that. Damn.
You're right. It's just... But Rey is not even a Skywalker, but she is going to call herself one at the end. People think that we love this character so much that's what we wanted.
Nobody likes Rey like that. Nobody. That's
what I'm saying. But I did hear like everyone did say like Adam Driver he was the best actor in the film, which is cool. I mean, we don't criticize the actor.
Villains usually are.
I mean,
that's nothing new.
Yeah, he is good. And listen, there's people that I could have liked, even though I never would have really like looked at this as like my Star Wars, just because like kind of what I've been through with the EU and everything. There are things that I could have liked. Like I could have liked things about Poe. I could have liked things about Finn. Rey's trash. But you know, I always said with Force Awakens, if this wasn't a Star Wars movie, if you took me out of this fucking universe, plot me down somewhere where Star Wars had never been heard of before, and I watched this movie, I might be like, yeah, I mean, that's a decent movie. You know, kind of interested in, you know, where it's going from here. I don't really know why this chick's so powerful, but I don't know anything about the Force, so I don't know why that can't be the case. But when it's part 7 with 6 parts before that, where you have all this established shit, it doesn't make any fucking sense. That's what I thought about it then, and it's only proven right over time that it was built. I think Gary said it last night. It was built on a terrible foundation.
Yeah.
Force Awakens was a house of cards that was just ready to crumble.
It's true. Well, it was A New Hope rebranded.
Well, yeah, but it's A New Hope that's rebranded, and it takes a bunch of shit. Like it does a bunch of things wrong from previously established lore. Because it's not just about the plot. It's about how she gets these powers and things like that. And it's the lack of world building. I knew it didn't take much, and I already understood what the Empire and what the Rebellion was in A New Hope. You don't need to go into super detail, but in the world building in this movie, I have no idea what the First Order and what the Resistance are. You know, you don't know, and you watch 5 planets get fucking destroyed, and you don't even, nobody even cares. they just
You don't
kind of
even
move
realize
on.
they don't even tell you that that's like the capital of the New Republic.
Yeah, everyone thought it was Coruscant, not Hosnian Prime or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Oh, guys, you got to buy the
See-
comic book if you want to know.
See, I went into the whole. I just wanted to see my hero be a badass on the screen. I kind of like numb my mind knowing they were gonna like mess some things up. But I was like, just give me Luke, and I think that would be cool. And then that would be it. Like I knew Han was gonna. I think everybody knew Han was gonna die because he didn't even want to be Han. His paycheck was ridiculous for that film, by the way. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
how much did they pay him?
it was like 25 million plus royalties. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
Like it was that much to get him on the screen to play Han Solo.
He's like, I'm not coming back.
So
I think that's the way it was with JJ though too. I think they probably paid him some serious freaking coin to come back because and that's the thing too. Like even with The Force Awakens, it seemed like KK had to chase him down to get him to do that movie. From what I understand, at least what I've heard, had to get Spielberg to talk him into it. And it's like, is that the guy you want doing Star Wars? Like somebody that doesn't really want to do it? No.
Yeah, that's a good point. He had to be convinced to do both of these things. And
One-
I'm sure he regrets it.
Imagine needing to be convinced to do a Star Wars film.
I know.
That's where
You
we're at.
shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
So Trevor, what was Colin? What was his? Why did they fire him?
They didn't like his. They had creative differences, from what I
Creative
understand.
differences, right?
That's what I understand. That the script that he turned in was not something that they were interested in at all, and that's why they went and brought J.J. Abrams back in.
His script had Luke Skywalker as the hero. Mark Hamill talks about that.
Or at least as he was involved in Episode 9, and
Yeah, he wasn't dead.
Yeah, he wasn't dead, and he was a huge part of the plot. Yeah.
Oh my
So-
god, man! They didn't even take any risks in this film. Like they wanted diversity. They could have had Rey switch to be a bad guy. I mean, they could have, and then like have Kylo redeem himself after he'd been brainwashed. They've never done that in Star Wars. That could have been a
Or
cool.
how about this? Or how about this? How about this? How about when Rey sacrifices
They always
herself to
interrupt
kill
me, man.
Palpatine? When Rey sacrifices herself to kill Palpatine, how about she just stays dead? And that's like a cool character moment. And then Kylo's like, you know what? I messed up, but her sacrifice inspired me. I'm going to restart the Jedi.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Well, he's got some Skywalker blood in him.
God.
I'm surprised that they didn't go with Rey being related to the Skywalkers. I would say that is a little bit. Her being related to Palpatine, that's been something that's been speculated for a while. But there's also the, Obi-Wan Kenobi relation, and then Luke's maybe a Luke and Mara Jade child.
It was everything, right? Because go figure. People actually fucking care about Star Wars. So when you create stories, they're going to speculate about it because of who they know. Because that's what fans do, especially fans of like geek and nerd culture. You get so into the details, you start speculating on what you think it could be, what your theory is. And they tell us that our Snoke theory sucks and all that shit. And they tell you, why do you even care about what her parentage is? And they end up having to just go back and make it Palpatine because it has to be. They have to bring Palpatine back to get a book for this.
Yep. Because otherwise, why the hell is he in it? I mean, if you're going to bring him back, then you got to make him related to, or you got to make Rey related to him in some way.
So you're telling me killing off a complex character who underwent through a redemption process and stood up to his abuser, only in the end to die from the hands of the same madman who tortured him, is a hopeful message. A hopeful message. Don't think so. J.J. Abrams' over party. Talking about exactly that they are destroying Anakin Skywalker's legacy. God. $5 Aussie dollars. Let the EU tower in its dominance. Purchase American women in bulk. Glory to RK Outpost. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Jason Solo did nothing wrong. Hashtag EU book club. That's right, Lethal.
I'm gonna leave because Sith just texted me saying I'm like taking his shine. So
Yeah, I told him to kick rocks. I hope that's okay.
and then if you guys are still going at 8 o'clock and you close, can you send people my way?
Well, I don't think we're going to. I think we're probably
Shameless plug.
I think we'll probably wrap it up relatively soon. But if you're not subscribed to any of these gentlemen on the panel, do so. We have Sith Kryptonian,
Yes.
we have John Talks, and we have Drunk 3PO. And actually, let me stop screen sharing. I might as well make all you guys mods in the chat too, so you can drop links and stuff if you so desire. I just got to find you. If you just want to mention something, I'll make sure you guys are mods. But we do have a couple. We do have a couple super chats. Let me see if I can find them.
John, where are you at now? 55K?
No, 53.4.
Sith, you remember when we had John on our show and he only had 15?
Yeah.
And we thought it was a big deal, and now look at it. Look how much he's grown, the young man.
Yeah, I'm very proud of him. I feel like we raised him well.
I feel like it was our show that really propelled his channel.
It was pretty much after that. Yeah, I would say after that, the channel just took off. So I've always made that correlation.
Yeah, then he had us on his channel, and then his growth stopped for like a while.
Yeah.
So that was a mistake, huh?
It took a weird turn.
I don't think it did.
So Jake117 for $2 says, I can't wait for Star Wars Theories review for The Rise of Skywalker.
Let me say one thing about that. Because I know I saw his tweets. He's going in optimistic and stuff. For someone like him who claims to be an Anakin Skywalker fanboy, if he walks out of this film saying it's good, he's a fraud. I'm sorry. I just had to say that.
It's like Episode 8 destroyed Luke, and this movie is retroactively destroying Anakin.
Yeah, there's no way Star Wars Theory is going to like this. There's no way.
It's his favorite character.
Yeah.
He said he's. I just saw someone say he did say he's going to be honest. He doesn't like to be a negative person. I think that's very clear. He talked a little bit about. His feelings on people who just spew negativity all the time on a live stream the other day. I don't know if that was just a moment that he just had too much going on and kind of just let his anger bubble up a little bit. But we'll see.
He's in denial.
We'll see how he feels after this movie.
Yeah, he's a Star Wars. I know I can kind of empathize because I understand this feeling. It's like you're sort of in this weird denial where like, no, this is Star Wars. Like, and part of you knows that it sucks and like all these people are hating it. And so you get scared for the franchise you love. You're like, I don't want them to do damage to this. I don't want this franchise to die. It's like a weird denial thing. But I know for a fact, if what he says is true and Anakin is his favorite character and he loves Anakin Skywalker the way he portrays himself to, he's going to despise this film.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think he's going to have issues with it. And I don't think he was crazy about The Last Jedi either.
Oh no, he hates
not.
Jedi.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't see him liking this movie either, but we'll see. I mean, even John Campia, did you see his tweet?
Yeah.
It was basically the same tweet that he tweeted from The Last Jedi.
Yeah. The weird thing about John is he'll tweet that right away. It'll be like some honesty. And then he'll be like, I'm going to see if I like it better the second time. And then he always likes it better the second time, just in time for his review. It's very funny like that.
All these blue check marks too, they can't put the full reviews out there. So they're putting stuff out. A lot of them are putting kind of, most of them are saying, oh, I really liked it. He did the best he could, blah, 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 all this stuff. But they're waiting to see our reaction, I think, to what they're saying before they actually commit to something. Because on Last Jedi, so many of them stood firmly in the Last Jedi corner and have had to tolerate, all of the backlash that's happened because of that for a while. And now they're finally starting to come around. They don't want that to happen a second time.
How about our boy Scott Mendelson already blaming us for the fact that episode 9 sucks?
I got both those pulled up. I actually want to show those. Rosetta Allen for $2. Say strong and united, Fandom Menace. Thank you, Rosetta. And absolutely. And yeah, this is a great time for the Fandom Menace, I think. I think a lot of people are going to realize what we've realized the whole time. So it's going to be very interesting. So speaking of The Campmeister. Let's see. Speaking of the Campmeister, oh, that's a nice picture. Here it is. Star Wars: The Last Skywalker reaction. There are a few big great moments, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to love this movie. Unfortunately, I'm just not one of them. Hopefully, I'll like it a little more after I see it again tomorrow.
Hey guys, that's subjective. Going into the second one, the second one with the intention to like it more.
I also just don't understand the idea of needing to see something again the next day to determine if you like it or not. That has never made any sense to me at all.
Yeah.
I think that.
Have you ever watched a movie a second time and your opinion on it shifted? Your opinion on it shifted in any way that's like worth mentioning?
No, not if it's like the next day or something. Like,
yeah, exactly, right?
I've never seen a movie where I came like after I saw it and I thought, like, wow, that just wasn't that great. And then the second time thinking to myself, wow, that actually was that was actually a good movie. Like, I think your opinion can only shift so much, but I can say this, like movies I really loved out the gate.
You love it more.
Yeah. Second and third viewing. And, you notice other things too.
I agree with that.
I saw The Last Jedi and I came back the next day to watch it again in like the super IMAX theater. And it was even worse the second time around.
Same for me.
Like I couldn't find anything to love about it, except all of you guys.
Hey, finger touch sex. Yes.
John's
good.
John's finger's a little sticky, but
look at this. I wonder what this one is.
All right, peace out, y'all. I gotta get ready for my show.
All right, see you, Doug.
Thanks for coming by, Doug. I appreciate you, bro. Dropped out. I wonder what this one is. This reply is hidden. T. Cripe.
Oh, I know what that is. I can actually pull it up on my phone. It was basically somebody had linked a Film God video saying "Don't trust John Campea." It was a link to a compilation of John Campea flip flopping.
Oh yeah,
and John Campea hit it.
Film God was actually all over these guys.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's really telling. Now that Twitter's allowing people to do that he's allowing people to, or that Twitter's allowing people to hide responses. When you look at those hidden responses, you can really tell what is bothering them. Now,
it's so weird because like you hide it, but people can still see it. So basically, it's just like you telling the world what you're subconscious about.
Yeah. So, I mean, I get to if it's something just like vicious and disgusting, some kind of accusation of, something untoward, I can get that. But if it's just something like, yo, you fucking lie on your film reviews, bro, I don't know about that. But then we also have King Shill himself, Scott Mendelson. Let's see. Where is he at? So, The Rise of Skywalker. In the end, it was Star Wars fans that killed Star Wars. Absolute fucking ratio. I retweeted this, and I think I said, in the end, it was journalists who told people that they were racist, sexist bigots for not liking a movie. And I'm pretty sure mine has more likes than his at this point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lethal did have another super chat. John Talks hates Australians. Fuck the Wookiees. Lethal must be drunk as hell right now.
Yeah, I responded to him in the chat.
I think that Lethal, the reason he's sending so many super chats is I told him not to pay me back, but we made a bet about the Rise of Skywalker leaks. And I told him because I thought they were 100% fucking legit. He told me they weren't. I think we bet a little. I think he said he'd give me $20, but if I lost, I had to watch Frozen with him. I think that was the bet. Thank God I won.
Yeah.
But then Scott Mendelson again says, at worst, I expected The Rise of Skywalker to be a well-made movie that I didn't like or whose story choices I disagreed with. I was not expecting a genuinely bad movie with video game plotting, thin characters, weak action, and endless exposition of no consequence. Heartbreaking. That's fucking rough.
Yeah, man. And then I don't get his line of reasoning because then he's like, but ultimately it's the fans' fault. It's like, what? Like you just trashed the movie.
Yeah, and then this dude can't even have an opinion like this without fucking cucking in some way. So he talks about bad movie with video game plotting. He says here, for those arguing that I'm insulting video games with the reference to video game plotting, well, you're not wrong. I was referring to 8-bit or 16-bit type video games and should have clarified. I'm sure there are plenty of modern AAA games with superior screenplays.
Wow, thanks, Scott. We were all fucking wondering about that.
Yeah, instead of responding to the 800 people who responded about him being a fucking shill and changing his mind, he responded to the 3 people who said, stop making fun of video games.
Gosh.
And then he had an article come out about Avatar for some reason.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Let's change the subject.
Exactly. Let's see any more J.J. Abrams' overs.
This is hilarious.
Yeah, this is pretty insane. Oh, look at these guys dancing. Mara Jade Skywalker, who often hangs out in some of our EU book club streams and stuff like that. I started this party when Star Trek was released. Grab a cold one and come on in. J.J. Abrams is over party. God, let's see latest. Check to see why J.J. Abrams' over party is trending. Turns out it's because the ending of Rise of Skywalker has already been leaked. I'm not going to say what it is, but I will say I'm getting very hyped to watch this dumpster fire with each passing hour.
Wow.
Well, I wish he wouldn't pay for it, but whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I got to refund my ticket.
Oh, yes, do that.
Can you do that?
It. Depends. Anyway, Knights of the Old Republic remains superior. The Rise of Skywalker can't relate. J.J. Abrams' over party. Well, this is actually a clip from SWOTOR, not Knights of the Old Republic, but
yeah,
I'm sure she understands that. I'm sure she gets it.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right. Well, if you guys are just joining us, we went over a lot of the leaks, basically how the leaks are completely true. Should I have Han Solo talk again, guys?
Oh, yeah.
When I asked Han Solo, Han, these leaks can't be true, right? These leaks aren't true, are they?
It's true. All of it.
Now, that took $25 million in royalties to get Harrison Ford to say that for me, but in the end, it was all worth it.
Yes.
It was all worth it.
So keep those super chats coming. Ryan still needs, I think you got how much to pay? About
24,999,950 or so, I think is what I still owe Harrison Ford, but I will be using that for the rest of my life. So, yeah. Lethal Lightning says, show thy Twitter tag, brother. Glory to gays. Did you tag me on something, Lethal? Let's check up Lethal Lightning real quick. At Lethal Lightning.
Lethal, I'm gonna go live after Ryan's stream, probably about a half hour after. And if you want to join me. If you guys want to join me afterwards, we can just kind of watch this thing burn.
Dude,
it'd be fun.
Yes, I will definitely come by. I need to take a little break in between, but yeah, for sure.
Sure.
All right. Yeah. Speaking of, if you guys have not subbed to John Talks, please do. I'm sure everybody here has, because he's got 55,000 freaking subscribers.
Big boy.
And then Sith Kryptonian as well, who I want Sith to make a rage video about this.
Oh, it's coming.
Good.
It's coming.
It's coming.
An unbridled rage.
No, I can't do like Mauler.
No, that's true. But yeah, you can call it something else.
Nobody could be Mauler. But yeah, no, there are plenty of videos coming.
I don't see any where you tagged me, Lethal. But
he said check your tags.
Yeah, I know.
Mentions?
I don't know what he's talking about. First image, top right corner. I don't know what you're talking about, Lethal. My tags. I looked at my mentions. I don't see anything from you. How I would have done Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, show this on stream. Darth Kaitis. Darth Kaitis says, fuck them Wookiees. That's right. That's right. There we go. That's for Lethal. But yeah, the fandom is split. The critics are split. Rise of Skywalker is dividing everyone. It's burning. Guys, I'll say this to you. I don't tell anyone how to spend their money. That's not something that I think is important. That's not something that's really my business.
But he is going to tell you how to spend your money.
Well, I'm not going to see this. I made that decision a long time ago that I was not going to go see this in theaters. I can't give Disney money for what we're getting. I can't do that. I'm going to be looking for the first free promotional copy on Pirate Bay that I can find. And that's what I'm going to be using. If you want to go see it, go see it. But if I've seen some people that are expressing this like, oh God, I'm going to hate having to watch this, but it's Star Wars, so I have to go. I would just say reconsider. If you want Star Wars, if you want something that feels like Star Wars, if you haven't checked out the expanded universe, that's what I would do. They got books, video games, comic books, tons of stuff, audiobooks. And if you need recommendations, talk to me, get in my DMs. I've got a video on my channel about how to start in the expanded universe. Talk to Lethal Lightning, people like that. And we'll get you set on the right Star Wars. And we got a $5 super chat from Jaegerbomb. Rise of Skywalker feels just vanilla bad where TLJ was dog shit. Is it worse to be incredible bad or just boring bad? Yet again, I got to skip Rise of Skywalker and not get suckered. What do you guys think?
I think for a Star Wars movie, like this fucking Star Wars, like this is something special. Like this, it should only be the best, or at least that's what fans we want, So it's like either way, it's a fail. Like Solo, a Star Wars story, it doesn't necessarily destroy and cripple things like The Last Jedi does. But to me, it's just a bland story that we didn't need to have. And, ultimately, either way, I don't care. Like both movies to me are they're not up to par for what Star Wars should be. And it should be an event. It should be something special. And it should be something that about at least 90% of the fans can walk away with saying, holy crap, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Honestly, both films, I'll take it a step further. Both films they're not just bad, but they're actually like corrosive to the Star Wars franchise from a narrative standpoint and a financial standpoint, which I feel like we're going to see very soon. Like it's not just a bad movie, like a bad Star Wars movie. It literally hurts what came before it. So it's worse than just like dropping the ball and like writing a bad film. It's worse than that.
Yeah,
I think that's true.
Agree.
Yeah.
God, it's freaking rough. Let me find this because I want to put this link in chat because I don't think you're a mod, Sith, but I want to put Sith Kryptonian's link in chat.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. Wait, that's for search results. I always do that. I don't want to do search results. I want to do your actual channel. That'll be more helpful to people. So yeah, just go to my search results. Or my search history. Oh God. Guys, go check out Sith Kryptonian. Make sure you sub to him and let me get John Talks as well. Even though I'm sure everybody here is already a John Talks sub.
I don't know. But Ryan, man, thanks for the invite. I really appreciate it. And if you guys in the chat are not subscribed to Ryan, and I know he's got a lot of people in here, you need to subscribe to this channel because when it comes to me, I've always loved the movies. I've loved the films. But when it comes to Ryan, he's got this, amazing, amount of knowledge in terms of the EU and in the lore. And so I think if you're a Star Wars fan, you're you're just going to get so much out of his channel because, he's so rich with that. So guys, make sure if you're new here to Ryan's channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I think,
John.
I think you'll definitely appreciate. I mean, I probably watch. I'd say I watch about 50% of your videos, which is, it's pretty good.
A lot, man.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you, man. That means a lot too. And whenever there's so many people in the fandom too right now, so whenever I hear that somebody watches my videos like that, I really appreciate it. And I've always got John's intro song stuck in my head. The John Talks intro.
It's a blessing and a curse.
It's a blessing and a curse. It means that I'm going to get good content when I hear it, but I also have to hear it. But it's awesome.
Fun fact. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. John Talks is sort of like the godfather of my channel, because when I had like 2 subscribers, I was on his stream randomly and I asked him a question and he gave me a shout out completely unprovoked. So he got me like my first 25 subs. So you have him to thank for me and the disaster of a channel I have. So blame him.
Well, what you still got? You got what? A few thousand subscribers, right, Sith?
Yeah, I think I'm at like 3,300.
It's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of a rebuilding process because I took a long time off, but you know.
Yeah, I think, it might take a little while to get it back, but I think I think Rise of Skywalker is going to give you a lot to talk about.
Oh, I have so much to say, man.
If you can just get some consistent ones out there, man, I think it'll go awesome. Once people know to start watching your channel for something on this day at this time.
Yeah, that's why I want to get the Senate going again too. If you guys are down, you want to come on Friday?
I'm just trying to think if I've got anything Friday. I'll say yeah. I'll check my calendar and double check, but yeah, I'd be down.
We'll work it out, like the times and stuff. If you can't make it, it's totally cool. Just I don't know. I have so much to say, so I feel like this Friday would be a great time to get the Senate going again. So
yeah, hopefully I could see the movie by then. Hopefully it's out. I know it's not necessarily in theaters. Ryan, if you can help me out with being able to see this movie.
Yeah.
Without having to pay. I feel like I've paid Disney and Lucasfilm enough. Like,
yes,
I bought The Last Jedi for reference, and that was like at full price. And I to get the director and the Jedi, absolutely.
God,
what a rip! I thought there was going to be more of Mark Hamill in there, and it wasn't. Anyways, also, guys, subscribe to Sith too, because his vids are great. So if you guys are not subscribed to him, subscribe. And I'm looking forward to dude. You killed it with the editing in that last video that you did.
Thank you, sir. Did you like that new style? I was nervous about it.
Dude, you crushed it, man. I should have left you a comment and let you know, but I just thought to myself, like, holy shit, man, you really did a great job with the edit.
Thank you, sir.
Why do you hate Australians, John? What did we ever do to you?
Oh no,
Lethal. What is this? I love those Australians. SC reviews, Lethal Lightning, Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
Crocodile Dundee.
Chris Hemsworth.
You can't tell
Chris
you
Hemsworth is a cum sponge.
Mel Gibson. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
Mad Max.
Yeah, Mad Max. Fury Road. Fury Road is garbage, though. Honestly, Last Jedi is a better Star Wars movie, and Fury Road is a Mad Max movie. Now I'm at work, and it's a pretty intense day of being paid to drink with drinks being paid for. But I just have one thing to say: fuck them Wookiees. Release the Snyder Cut. All right, I'll talk to you all later.
Have a great last day, Lethal. Congrats, man.
There you go. Fuck the Wookiees. Release the Snyder Cut from
He's
Lethal.
one of a kind, isn't he?
He is. I think all Australians are actually like that. So he's one of like 6 million or how many people there. We do have a $4.99 super chat from Teresa Martin. It takes an amazing talent to F up this bad, time and hard work. I would say they fucked up pretty royally. And speaking of Teresa, let me thank my patrons before we end the stream, who make it possible for me to do everything that I do and keep streaming and keep making videos for you guys. So thank you so much. Teresa Martin, Mexican Iron Man, Lost Jedi 22, Mary Mayhem, what an ass, what a bitch, what a cuck, George, Big Dick, Lucas, Rosetta Allen, Bionic Belly Button, RC from the NYC, Huge Ass, Seth Saunders, Kyle Hopkins, Alex McCarthy, Trey Fishbein, and Geeky Candy. Y'all are awesome. Thank you guys so much. I just saw one real quick question, and that is, do you think Lucasfilm will make movies based on EU books? I think we're a long way out. I think they're going to bastardize KOTOR next. I think they're going after Revan in the Old Republic. That's what I think, guys. Just saying. That's my instinct. I have nothing to base that on other than how I feel, because I think they need to use something that we're nostalgic for, and that is Revan. That's what I think they're going to use. But thank you guys for being on stream with me. Sith, John, we've been here a while. Thank you guys for laughing at this fucking dumpster fire with me. It's been a blast.
Thanks for having me, man.
It's been a blast.
I'll just say that. It was good to vent.
Yeah, good, man. And then For later, John is going to go live later, so make sure you're subbed to his channel with those notifications on. Drunk 3PO, who's here earlier, is going to be going live soon. Make sure you check him out. Make sure you subscribe to him and turn his notifications on as well. And if you're not subbed to me, well, then please go ahead and smash that subscribe button so you can.
Come on, look at his face. You're really not going to sub to see that face? Look at that face, bro.
I thought you were saying I was frozen for a second. I was like, fuck, am I frozen again?
Oh, no. No, you're not.
But hey, thank you guys. Over 500 people for a long time. And you guys are awesome. Enjoy the dumpster fire. Christy's dropping chats or dropping links. Thank you, Christy. Enjoy the dumpster fire. Enjoy the J.J. Abrams is canceled that we have from Last Jedi fans. Enjoy the shills trying to say why they have this point. They're not going to be able to justify why they have this opinion. And keep your eye out for more leaks. And we'll talk to you guys later.